Rock.
I tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. Looking to the sky to save me, looking for a sign of life, 'cause it's too cold for you here.
We are Nashville's rock station. 102.9 The Buzz.
Your company's hiring. Who isn't? We would love to show you how to use 102.5 The Game to attract and retain employees. We can also help you find the exact person you're looking for with a targeted digital campaign. You can trust our team to help you build your team. Email us at together@cromwellmedia.com.
A lot of Kanoe's energy started to bounce back.
She has a lot of puppy moments, and she'll be 14 this summer.
What did these dog parents do for their dogs? They switched to Nature's Blend, a premium freeze-dried raw dog food made by Dr. Marty Goldstein, a veterinarian Forbes magazine called the Miracle Worker. It's the easiest way to support your dog's easy digestion, nourished skin, playful energy, and most importantly, their healthy, full life.
I'm so confident your dog will love it. Your order is back with a 90-day guarantee.
Save up to 54% off Nature's Blend and get a free full-size bag of Tilly's Treasures dog treats. They're best-selling beef liver dog treats while supplies last. Go to drmartypets.com/tasty or text TASTY to 511-511. Go to drmartypets.com/tasty or shop in over 2,000 stores nationwide. Use the store locator to find the store closest to you. All pets are unique. Your pet's results can and will vary. As if and data rates may apply. Studies available upon request.
At Staples, you can count on every project being print perfect, guaranteed.
I need invitations and posters printed, and they have to be perfect.
I need beautifully bound booklets and presentations for my business.
Your invitations and booklets will be in captivating color and will be done right every time. That's Staples Print Big Promise. And right now at Staples, get $50 off your print purchase of $150 or more. Try Staples and see the difference. Ends 10/14. Exclusions apply. See associate or visit staples.com/print for details.
Live from the Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical Studios. WPRT FM Pegram, WPUC HD2 Laverne. Broadcasting on Alexa.
I appreciate that.
And other smart speakers. 102.5 and 106.3.
And a score!
You can run different offenses.
The doors on the board.
Off the field, on the field.
The Game.
A Cromwell Media Station.
Mixing sports and a little bit of fun.
This is fun!
On your morning drive. This is Robby and Rexrode. With Robbie Stanley and Joe Rexrode. Presented by TJ Anderson Homes of Benchmark Realty. On Nashville's best sports talk. 102.5 and 106.3 The Game. And on the Game Nashville app.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime.
And welcome into the Thursday edition of Robby and Rexrode, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. We are live from Bridgestone Arena. Predators and Seattle Kraken tonight for the home opener. Joe Rexrode and myself live from Pete and Terry's Tavern. Come hang out with us later this morning as the Predators prepare to take on the Seattle Kraken, the home opener tonight. And we'll have a lot to get to on that front. Predators head coach Andrew Brunette joining us at 7:15. So looking forward to that conversation with him. And another hockey season is upon us, Joe. Every time we're in this room, in this location on this day, it makes me think back to times of
can't imagine
great past that have gone by.
What would you possibly
here.
bring up?
A couple years ago when our nice award-winning interview with Jim Wyatt, we're talking about like Ty Sombrilo, I think, in the middle of it, and all of a sudden Joe Rexrode's chair explodes. He's on the ground. He knocks us off the air. The only unfortunate part of it is we don't have video evidence.
Wait. That didn't knock us off the air.
We were off the air for about a good minute and a half. We had to end up we called you knocked Jim off the air. That's what it was.
Okay. I was going to say, like that. I think you're embellishing this story.
Well, pretty soon it'll be like the Music City Miracle. Like Joe fell through the window. He landed on the sidewalk.
Yeah, in 10 years it'll be like Bridgestone had to, like, part of Bridgestone exploded and like we had to shut down the city. And, it's a great memory. Thanks for bringing it up. Really appreciate it.
It is a good memory, yes.
Also, what are we sitting in today? Are these I don't
know.
Child tea party seat? What are we doing here?
But
Junie?
I feel like
what is Junie doing to
I feel like they're a little
here?
bit more sturdy, though.
They are sturdy. They're very sturdy, but they're weird.
We can make fun of you for falling out of the chair, but at the end of the day, we discovered it was Chase's fault. Like, Chase knew that the chairs were kind of on their last leg a little bit and continued to place them in the back. So You got one chair has a leg broken, and he sets you up. Sabotage is what it was.
Well, I can't blame Chase. I mean, if you're him, you're like, all of our hosts are like, what, $120 or so, $125? Should be fine, Yeah. We don't have any dudes who might crush a chair. Totally sensible,
Everyone's
Chase.
a child. Yeah, it's all good. Beautiful
Lord.
stuff. By the way, we're going to get into the game here in just a second, but I'm looking at the Predators passed out like some new food menu items they got for tonight and for all season long. I mean, there's the Music City cheesesteak, which looks really good. You know what immediately caught my eye? Not just funnel cake fries, which are available. Banana pudding funnel cake fries. It's 6:03 in the morning, and I'm already excited for banana pudding funnel cake fries.
There's a lot of cool stuff on here. I actually think that the Dr. Pepper glazed chicken sandwich sounds really cool. I love a good smash burger. Banana pudding funnel cake fries?
Sounds awesome, man.
Okay, I'm going to read the description. Funnel cake fries topped with powdered sugar, banana pudding, and a vanilla wafer crumble.
Yeah, man.
So I'm going to have a few of those and then see if this chair here can actually – maybe I can destroy this chair.
Well, we'll see. It could happen. Who knows? It's going to be beautiful.
That's quite a combination. Yeah. Fries and banana pudding.
Yeah, I mean, I've never had that one before, but I'm looking forward to it. We'll see what happens. I think I'm going to give it a shot. We got a lot to get to on the program here today. The Preds and the Kraken tonight, both teams at 0-1. Kraken lose to the Golden Knights on Tuesday night, 4-1. Preds obviously lose to the Tampa Bay Lightning. This is a big one for the Preds. I mean, we mentioned the 5-game opening stretch here. These are really tough teams, and it would be nice if you're the Predators to get the home part of it off to a good start. And we'll see if Forsberg and O'Reilly and Parsonen can keep it going. I would assume, based on the way they played together, that line is going to remain intact tonight. And can that line be something that pushes the envelope offensively every night? And then the other part is you're not playing against the Tampa Bay Lightning power play tonight. So when you go on the penalty kill, can you approach stopping someone tonight? That would be good.
Yeah, I'm grading the PK on a curve for sure. After that, that was a good reminder of how ridiculous those guys still are.
Yeah.
But certainly, it wasn't a good night for the penalty kill. So you want to be better, and this is an important game. It's a home opener. Obviously, you want to play well in the home opener. You want to win the home opener, and that schedule is right away a type of schedule that can give you that early hole. So this is the easiest game of the first stretch here, on paper.
Yeah, on paper it is. I mean, the league so far, Connor Bedard's played in 2 games. He scores his first goal last night. He looks pretty good. Edmonton last night got beat 8-1 by Vancouver. So a lot of preseason expectations for Edmonton.
Panic in Edmonton.
And I will say the way they lost the game has people looking around and saying, I saw a lot of in the preseason, Edmonton versus Toronto picks for the Stanley Cup for an all-Canadian Stanley Cup final. Which, first off, I was like,
will people ever learn?
Yeah, I was like, why would you do that to yourself? I mean, you're just setting yourself up for failure. Edmonton, I think I trust a little bit more to get there. But the question has always been, can they keep the puck out of their own net? And when you open up the season, giving up an 8 spot to a Vancouver team, it did not ease the concerns of Oilers fans last night.
Get all of it out of the way early.
I guess so.
Meanwhile, Austin Matthews has a hat trick, so they are definitely going to the Stanley Cup final.
He had a hat trick. They gave up 5 goals to the Montreal Canadiens, which, again, they just seem like the same team to me. They're good. They'll make the playoffs. They might even win a round.
Regular season heroes, man.
But I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how that part of it plays out. Morning skate today for the Predators. I'll be watching the line combination, see if it's the exact same as it was the other night. I don't know that I'd change anything in the game too. At some point, I would assume Fabro's probably going to get in there, and you'll see what he can do. Maybe a guy like Samuel Fagemo, who they signed, claimed off waivers from L.A., who I think they're really excited about. Will he get in there tonight? Other than that, I don't know that I anticipate many lineup changes. Michael McCarron was a scratch the other night too. I don't know that this is the matchup where he needs to be in there. So my guess is probably the same lineup for the Predators tonight, but maybe we'll ask Andrew Burnett a little bit later.
Yeah, I'm going to ask him, you going to break up that top line? Just kidding. That's definitely something that will not change.
Yep.
A very impressive including the underlying numbers, very impressive for that line. Open up against a really good opponent, and at times, really tough matchup on the ice. So that's encouraging.
That is encouraging. And then UC Saros, I thought he looked basically like UC Saros the other night. Now, you'd probably like to see him on the penalty shot, make a save there. But other than that, I think we know what we're going to get out of Saros this year. I'm really interested to see, Brunette's philosophy with him, because the days of goalies starting 65 games for the most part seem to have gone by the wayside in the NHL. I think the last 2 years, 1 year Saros started 67 or played in 67, the other he played in 63. So he is the exception to what right now is a league that, if it's not totally 50-50, is kind of close to that with their goalies. Now, we know it's not going to be that here with Saros and Lankinen, but I am interested as the season goes on here to see what Brunette's philosophy is with Saros and how much he wants to play him.
Yeah, and obviously that has to do with the quality of play behind him, which, of course, last year was good.
Yep.
So if that's the case again, I think you make the case for a little bit more rest for him this year.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what happens on that front. Shane in the Borough on the text line says, when does Fagemo enter the lineup and whose spot does he take? He's more of an offensive guy.
That second line probably.
That could be. I mean, he could be maybe a Sherwood. He's not going to take Nyquist's spot in the lineup. Look, I still think that Tomasino, Evangelista, those guys have to prove their worth. The fourth line of Trennan and Sissons, that combination that they've had together for a while, I think they like those two together, and you can kind of move some other pieces around. Cole Smith was with them the other night. I don't know how much of a purpose it serves to bring Fagemo in on that line, but maybe you switch something like that up tonight. But I don't think he's that far away. He just got here. He went to Australia with the Kings, got put on waivers because of the depth that they have, and he's only been here for a little bit over a week at this point. So I think there's still some getting adjusted to the system that you're going to see. It's probably going to be a couple more games, would be my guess.
Kind of amazing. Sherwood's in the, Sherwood last year, people very upset. Remember, of course, it was Sherwood in the lineup, Tomasino in Milwaukee. Sherwood, right back in that lineup.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't think you're going to mess with Evangelista, mostly because we call them a Evangelista, or at least I do.
You should make T-shirts.
I might make a T-shirt. Hashtag Evangelista. I think that could really take off. It's a totally nonsensical word, but I think it sounds cool.
How much Ellie Tolvanen talk think Predators fans are going to give us today? Were we over that at this point?
Well, certainly if he does something, and if he scores a goal tonight, then we'll hear about it. But that's the thing too. It's like even stuff like that. Now that it's a new regime, like what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Granted, when we talk about the Titans, people are still complaining about John Robinson. So I guess
it's true.
I guess yes. If he scores tonight, we'll hear about it tomorrow for sure.
Chase on the text line says, I'm tired of losing to the Kraken. You got to win. That's from Chase. Are the Kraken becoming heated rivals for Predators fans in 2 years? This is the second time in 3 seasons, by the way, that the Kraken are playing their second game of the year here. I got that in their media note yesterday. I was like, okay.
That's very interesting.
It's very interesting.
That's quite a factoid. I mean, I do feel like Preds fans who are long-term Preds fans see any expansion team and hate them because they're like they can be good right away.
I agree.
And obviously one of them is hoisting the cup now,
yes.
As you have never done that. So maybe there's some built-in bitterness toward the Kraken. But, I mean, come on. They're the Kraken, and those uniforms are sweet, man.
Yeah, I like it. 615-737-1025, our phone number. We'll get back into the Preds as the show goes along. Andrew Burnett, Predators head coach, joining us at 7:15 today, so looking forward to that. We'll have another edition of Preds Pick to Click, in which I'm already deeply in the hole after one game. 3 of you, the caller, Rexrode, and Keyser, all with a pick to click the other day, and I did not. So already in the hole to begin that. We'll have that at 8:45 coming up. Coming up next, we'll get into the Titans. We'll look ahead to the matchup against the Ravens coming up in London and take a look at the injury report for the Titans yesterday, which, again, not great news on one specific front. All that coming up next. This is Robby and Rexrode, 102.5, 106.3, The Game.
Vanderbilt football lives here.
This Saturday, it's Vanderbilt and Georgia from First Bank Stadium. Kickoff at 11 a.m. Coverage starts at 9:30.
Your home for the Commodores is 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Family Leisure invites you to relax at home this fall with all our indoor products on sale now.
Family Leisure has theater seating, massage chairs, pool tables, shuffleboard tables, and game tables in stock and ready for immediate delivery.
Enjoy the movie theater experience in the safety and comfort of your own home with theater seating from Family Leisure. 3-piece sets start at only $9.99. Massage chairs are only $14.99 as well.
Well, I want to redo our game room with a pool table for me and an air hockey and foosball table for the kids, maybe even a ping pong table.
Family Leisure has 30 pool tables on display, hundreds in stock for immediate delivery. Pool tables start at $14.99 installed.
And don't forget the shovelboard tables, a game everyone can play.
Family Leisure has above ground pools in stock and ready for immediate installation.
And there's great sale prices on outdoor and wicker furniture. Huge selection still in stock. That's Family Leisure's Relax at Home sale.
At both huge locations, Antioch and Franklin.
Tiffany absolutely hated her job.
I was living paycheck to paycheck on a dead-end job that I did not like.
She'd been considering a change with My Computer Career.
I was able to qualify for financial aid.
Just 2 nights a week in a classroom and studying from anywhere online opened up a whole new world to her.
I get job offers all the time. IT is practically recession-proof.
Become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
I highly recommend My Computer Career.
It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu. This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Some days I cover up because of my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now I'm hitting the road with clearer skin thanks to Sky Rizzy, Rizumkizum of Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Sky Rizzy, 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months. And Sky Rizzy is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Sky Rizzy. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Sky Rizzy, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Your doctor today about Sky Rizzy, the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizzy.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZY to learn more.
O'Reilly. Protect your vehicle's engine with Syntec and O'Reilly Auto Parts. Syntec Premium Full Synthetic Motor Oil is formulated for today's engines to dissipate heat and friction and reduce wear. Get 5 quarts of Syntec Full Synthetic and a MicroGuard Select filter for just $33.99. Limits apply. See store for details. Get Syntec only at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
We try to stay cool by being on social media.
I'm with it. I'm hip.
Follow us on Twitter at 1025 The Game and on Instagram at 1025 The Game Nashville.
Hey!
Oh, yeah. And like us on Facebook, too.
Good morning.
You're locked into Robby and Rexrode, presented by TJ Anderson Homes of Benchmark Realty.
I had the radio on. I'm listening to
1025 and 1063 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Welcome back in, Robby and Rexrode, 1025, 1063 The Game, presented by TJ Anderson Homes of Benchmark Realty, helping home buyers and sellers in Middle Tennessee for 20 years. We are live from Pete and Terry's Tavern here at Bridgestone Arena. Nick Keyser live at our 1025 The Game studios, brought to you by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. Looking ahead to the Titans and the Ravens coming up in London on Sunday. Joe, the injury report for the Wednesday practices out yesterday. Traylon Burks, once again, not practicing for the Titans with the knee. Luke Gifford out again. Elijah Molden didn't practice with a hamstring. Jeffrey Simmons with the shoulder that we've talked about did not practice. And no Tier Tart as well, once again with the toe injury that he's been dealing with. Aaron Brewer limited with a neck. Alshire limited with a neck as well. And then Henry and Hopkins not practicing, limited with rest days that they had. So no Burks once again for the Titans. Jeffrey Simmons didn't practice with a shoulder injury. And Tier Tart, who was missed, obviously, in a very heavy way last week, not practicing with a toe. So not good news on that front. for the Titans.
Yeah, imagine if Simmons and Tart both can't go in this game.
Oh boy,
that might be a toughie for the Titans. And then Burks. You look at if Burks just has another week of he's just not out there at all. I kind of go back and say I wonder if he should have been on IR.
Yep.
Does that make a difference in terms of then someone else in there? It's another depth piece that you could have had or could have right now, but doesn't look great. I mean, at this point with him, unless something changes here quickly, it looks like there's a pretty good chance he again doesn't play. So clearly, the retweaking of the knee was significant. And Simmons. He didn't want to talk about what it was after the game. You knew it was upper. It was something upper.
Yeah.
And so he just, with Jeff Simmons, obviously they've got the off week after this. So it's a really interesting situation. There's probably at least a couple guys in there who are going to be questionable, and it becomes that question of, okay, this is an important game. Getting 3-3 and 2-4, there's a huge difference. But also, like a Jeff Simmons, for example. Think about last year when he rallied every week and he played on that ankle, but he wasn't himself. And I didn't think he was himself at all in the Colts game after he got hurt. And that's not what you want. You don't want him out there like that. So, I mean, I feel like maybe because of what's ahead with a week off, maybe the smart decision is to shut some of these guys down and just see if you can figure out a way to win a football game with more backups in.
Well, I wonder too, and you're not probably basing your decision off this, but there's a lot of conversation, especially out of Buffalo right now, about the playing surface over in London that they played on last week in terms of the injury. I mean, Buffalo had a couple of huge injuries on their defense in that game. I mean, I don't know that you're holding anybody out because of that if you're Vrabel and the Titans, but the Burks part of it, to me, doesn't it kind of make more sense with the schedule being what it is, unless he's just 100%, and clearly he's not this week? I would rather Burks get completely healthy so you've got him available to you and at full strength as the season progresses here. What I don't want to see is Burks, try to gut it out this week, and he hurts himself again, re-aggravates it, or has a setback, and then all of a sudden you get past the bye week and he's 3 more weeks down the road and he's still dealing with the injury. So, I would rather him just go ahead and get healthy. And then even if that means that your passing attack in this game is going to be, I'm just going to throw the ball at DeAndre Hopkins 25 times, I'd rather it be that than to him to have a nagging injury that he's dealing with for the next 4 weeks.
Well, yeah, I think it's a lot easier on that side of things because you have functioned as an offense pretty well without him. I mean, even though last week you end up with only 16 points, you were able to do a lot with Hopkins. Tannehill has 260-plus yards. And the week before that, without Burks, you actually had Moore and NWI also making big plays, and you were fine. There's plenty of evidence that the Titans can function without Burks and still get things done. But Simmons and Tart, that to me is totally different. So maybe, if you're talking about questionables, and I don't know if they will be, but I'm just saying hypothetically, if you're talking about questionables, maybe you do err a little bit more on the side of gotta have it from at least one of those D linemen in this game against the Ravens, and then you still get the week off and hopefully feel better coming back against the Falcons.
So what do you think of the Ravens? I'm looking at FanDuel Sportsbook, which, by the way, the Ravens are favored by 4 in this game. The over-under is at 41. So not a very high-scoring game expected from the sportsbook.
Get excited, London.
In London on Sunday.
All of Europe is watching.
They had the lead
10-9 game
against the Steelers. Steelers come back and win on Sunday. Ravens are at 3-2 right now. You watch them play, and there are times where they look like they could be one of the top 10. I mean, look, they played well against Cincinnati, and Cincinnati, Burrow was dealing with the injury at that point. They've won 3 games. There have been times this year where I thought Lamar's looked really good, some times where he's looked average at best. But overall, what have been your impressions of the Ravens to this point?
Well, first of all, they should be 5-0, flat out. They should be 5-0.
They also lost to the Colts.
They lost to the Colts at home. That's they get the Texans early, they blow them out. Bengals aren't good, especially when they played them. and then the Browns don't have Deshaun Watson. They've gotten some breaks with their schedule. Coming into the season was really high on this team. Coming back, although I've had questions about their defense. They always play defense. I mean, we've got Junie here with us, who's a baby hands enthusiast, and I don't understand how baby hands and the Steelers came back to win that game. But I will say, I feel like Lamar Jackson in that game got just absolutely hosed by his receivers. Am I right, Junie? Just give me a nod or a.
No, you're right.
Junie can chime in. Yeah.
They had about, I would say, 3 touchdowns that got dropped.
He made a couple of throws in that game that are just outrageous. I feel like I think he's gotten better. I am a Lamar Jackson guy. I'm a fan of his. I think they're a good team, but they also, and I like Zay Flowers. I think that was a good pick. I think that's a guy, as Vrabel said this week, the Titans took a close look at him. But they find a way to not score that many points.
Yeah.
I mean they've scored. They did score the 27 at Cincy, and they scored 28. They blew out the Watsonless Browns. But that was a lot of that was just kind of like what the Browns did to the Titans a week earlier when they won 27-3. They couldn't breathe. Their defense wouldn't let them breathe. So I think they're a good team. I think they're a better team than the Titans. I thought they might be an actual contender in the AFC this year. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, the schedule to this point, like you said, it's difficult to figure out exactly what they are based on the circumstances of what we've seen. I mean, the Week 1 game against Houston, you're taking on a rookie quarterback in his first start. We know what Burrow was like in Week 2. It just, Cincinnati's offense actually kind of got going in that game towards the second half there, but it's still a limited offense with Burrow being on 1 foot at that point. The Indy loss, that was the game that Indy's field goal kicker had 4 kicks beyond 50 yards, which was pretty incredible.
Minshew steps out, but he still leads them down the field.
Yep. So it's difficult at this point to figure out exactly what they are. What is interesting is like the Lamar Jackson rushing part of this to this point. Like he had the one game against Indy where he ran for over 100 yards. And other than that, it's not really the rushing numbers that you're used to seeing from Lamar, which I don't know how much of that is intentional. I don't know how much of that is, look, the injuries that have piled up the last couple of years, is he maybe less willing to run the ball? Maybe are they wanting him to not run the ball as much? But he had the 14 carries for 101 yards against Indy. Other than that, he ran 9 times for 27 against Cleveland. Last week, 6 carries, 45 yards against the Steelers. So it's not like he's not running it anymore. It's just these 120-yard rushing games from Lamar Jackson with an additional 250 passing haven't really happened for him so far this year.
Yeah, and they've talked about trying to be more careful. They have to be. He's obviously not indestructible. No one is. And you play the way he has, when you become just a ball carrier who can be tackled as often as he has been, it's just we've seen what will happen, So they're definitely more – it's a new offense, obviously, with Monken in his OC. I think it's a good change for him. But, yeah, it is a little bit – for a defense, it's a little bit less of a concern. But, still you look at like last week, that's highly efficient picking your spots.
For sure.
And so, it's still something you have to be concerned about as a defense. And that's – if you're the Ravens, that's what you want. You want them to still have to be concerned about it. You want it to be there when you really need it. But the steady diet of it, which to me was excessive when he was a younger player, I know it worked well, but, you're trying to preserve a guy's career. It just doesn't work in this league. We're already seeing Anthony Richardson just learn that, and the Colts learn that right away. It's like, you know what, you've got to protect that guy more. So I think the Ravens have taken on that mindset, but there's still – the Titans have done a good job. In the previous offense against Lamar Jackson, done a really good job. Other than the home playoff loss, one play where he got out, and that was the biggest play of that game. But for the most part, have done a very good job against him.
Odell Beckham Jr., who, by the way, limited yesterday with an ankle injury, and we'll see what his status is for the game on Sunday. Not much so far as a Raven. 3 games, 7 catches, 79 yards. That's been it for Odell Beckham so far, which I don't know, is that surprising based on the injuries that he's had and what he's been coming back from, but it's not been what they've hoped for from Odell Beckham to this point.
Yeah, I think he may be on the other side of it. I mean, hopefully he gets stronger and can do a little bit more. I was excited to see what it might look like if he could just be, 65, 70% of himself, but he's not that. So, but if you got that going with adding Zay now, and obviously you've always got Mark Andrews out there, it could be a fun offense to watch. As of now, it's not all that fun, and I don't think it'll be all that fun Sunday.
So on that front, the Titans defensively coming off a really bad game. What is the key to the Titans defending the Ravens offense on Sunday in London? We'll discuss that. Take your thoughts on that as well. 615-737-1025, our phone number. All that coming up next. This is Robby and Rexrode, 102.5-106.3 The Game.
He breaks down every game.
The players are still going to be fine.
And knows the ins and outs of the two-tone blue.
They deal with their own position coaches.
He is ESPN NFL Nation Titans reporter Teron Davenport.
It's clear what he's doing.
TD joins every Monday at 1, Thursdays at 3, Friday mornings at 8, and anytime on the Talkin' with TD podcast.
I think that's really cool how he could show both sides.
TD is on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
The holidays are a time of celebration and Thanksgiving. It's a time to host friends and family in your home to enjoy good food and good times. The last thing you need is an unexpected issue. If you're planning a gathering this season, take a few minutes to bring out the home experts from Lee Company. For heating, plumbing, electrical, and all your home improvement needs, Lee Company has you covered. Visit LeeCompany.com today and schedule your first appointment online. Lee Company, all you need.
Hal Gill here for my good friends at Dunkin'. I get my Dunks every morning. I grew up with Dunkin' in Boston, and it's been my favorite ever since. Fall in love with Dunkin's pumpkin coffee, lattes, muffins, and donuts. Made with their signature high-quality coffee, each sip and bite is sure to delight. Perfect for those cool autumn mornings or as a sweet treat any time of day. You won't be able to resist the delicious pumpkin flavor. Get pumped for pumpkin. Stop by Dunkin' today.
In 1972, a Nashville family business story began when Bill and Beverly Finley founded Volunteer Hose and Gasket. 3 generations have grown the business into the local industry leader supplying just about anything to anybody, from the largest of contractors to your neighbor that mows his own yard. Over 1 million items in stock: belts, belting accessories, gaskets, gauges, hose fittings, hydraulics, industrial hoses, lubricants, sealing products, tubing, fire protection, and more. All at volunteerhose.net. If Volunteer Hose and Gasket doesn't have it, then you probably don't need it. Call them at 615-242-0461.
Vanderbilt Commodore fans, 102.5 and 106.3 The Game, along with 94.9 The Fan, is your new home for broadcast of games and the Commodore Hour on Monday evenings. Catch all the action for football, men's and women's basketball, and baseball all season long. Go Doors!
Get a great deal on versatile Kubota equipment today, like Kubota BX and L-Series compact tractors. Part of our tractor lineup rated #1 in durability and owner experience. Z-Series mowers and Sidekick utility vehicles. Stop by your local Kubota dealer today. Bring home select BX Series equipment for 0 down, 0% APR for up to 60 months, plus save up to $800. Now through October 31st. See Krebs Kubota or go to KubotaUSA.com/disclaimers for full disclaimer. Krebs Kubota, Middle Tennessee's preferred equipment dealer. Convenient locations in Columbia, Franklin, and Murfreesboro. Visit us online at KrebsKubota.com.
Your chance to get that rare, hard-to-find luxury pre-owned Rolex timepiece is happening at Genesis Diamonds. Friday and Saturday, October 20th and 21st, Genesis is hosting an epic pre-owned luxury Rolex event featuring a stunning new selection of these hard-to-find watches. Hulks, Submariners, Daytonas, Pepsis, Batmans, all the hottest models that people wait years for. For this event, you can choose from 5 years financing or get a free pair of 2-carat lab-grown diamond earrings valued at $5,000. Imagine a luxury pre-owned ladies Rolex Datejust for just $199 a month, or a Sea Dweller or Submariner for just $299 a month. No waiting list, no games, just the watch you want at the great Genesis value price you deserve. Also for this event, our pre-owned Rolex buyers will be offering top dollar for your Rolex, so you can buy, sell, or trade. Come see the largest selection of luxury pre-owned Rolex watches in the state. Get the timepiece of your dreams and take advantage of our special financing. Friday and Saturday, October 20th and 21st only, and only at Genesis Diamonds. Your home for luxury pre-owned Rolexes. Green Hills and Cool Springs. On approved credit while supplies last. See store for details.
insightful discussion.
When we talk about the person that these players are.
3 goals scored in the first 5 minutes.
He
wants to be the starter, day one. Mixed with spirited debate.
Okay, but Derek, let's put Mr. Derek.
They are Caroline, Willie, and D-Mace. With Caroline Fenton, Willie Donick, and former NFL wide receiver Derek Mason.
We got the whole thing covered. We got it all covered here.
Weekdays at 11 on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Hey Nashville, Trey Wingo here. You're listening to Nashville's best sports talk, ESPN 102.5 The Game.
Playing overseas, what are some of the biggest challenges of game week for you, your staff, and the team that are different than other weeks?
Well, we came in early. Came in on Tuesday just to try to get ahead, knowing that there'd be a travel day. Just more conscious of recovery and hydration and our, travel. Our ops department, our equipment staff, that's a lot for these guys to undertake. They do a fantastic job. Make it easy for the players and the coaches and the video staff and everybody outside of the players and coaches. They've been amazing. So we'll pick up, take our, computers or laptops, try to get some stuff covered on the plane, try to get some rest, and then have everything set up when we get there.
That was Mike Vrabel yesterday looking ahead to the trip to London for the Titans coming up this week as they take on the Baltimore Ravens on Sunday morning. Welcome back in, Robby and Rexrode, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Make sure you tune in to 102.5, 106.3 The Game this Saturday for our college football game of the week presented by Twin Peaks as Vanderbilt takes on Georgia at 11 a.m. with pregame beginning at 9:30. Take your tailgate to Twin Peaks for scenic views of all the hottest college football games across the country and home of the 29-degree beer. Titans leaving today, Joe, so there will be later this afternoon flying off to London. Baltimore has been there since, Monday night / Tuesday morning. So we've talked about that and what sort of a difference will that make this week in the matchup. We'll have to wait and find out on Sunday. Defensively for the Titans, you're coming off a bad game, both in the run defending part of it and also obviously in the secondary, which we've talked about a lot this week. In this matchup specifically against the Ravens, how do you think the Titans attack that matchup? How do you think the Titans respond on the defensive side of the ball after a very bad week against Indianapolis?
Well, one of the big questions, which of course was part of Jared's sham win yesterday, is Christian Fulton. It is a big question this week. You got to be sound in the secondary, To me, and the Titans have done this before, but sometimes you can elicit a mistake or two out of Lamar Jackson, and you got to make plays out there. And that's, to me, a big question. I stick with, I believe, I don't know if I want to get your take on this, Robby.
Okay.
Would you come out in this game and have Trey Avery starting instead of Christian Fulton?
No, I would not. But I also would not have a very long leash. Like if Christian Fulton gets out there in the first half and he looks like he's looked so far this season, I'm not waiting around very long. But no, I would give Christian Fulton the opportunity to go out and respond this week. I'm with you. I still think he's their – I'm not going to say I think he's their best corner anymore because I think Roger McCreary is their best corner. And I think at this point there's enough of a body of work and a consistency level that McCreary's brought to the table, and I realize it's a different position and he's not playing outside. But I think he's their best guy. But I do think Christian Fulton, from an outside corner perspective, has demonstrated that he's got the ability to be a really good corner in this league. I don't think you serve yourself well by just taking that off the field and washing your hands of him right now. But having said that, I'm not waiting around too much longer on Christian Fulton to get things figured out. To me, based on the way your season has gone to this point, the fact that you do have a contract coming up, and just the way that you've played, I would hope there's some level of response to him, and there's some level of pride that kicks in to play better than he's played and to do what he's being asked to do on the defensive side of the ball. So I'm going Fulton Sunday, but if you get a quarter deep into it and he's giving up big plays or he's tackling people from behind, dragging them down in pass interference, I'm not waiting much longer on that.
Yeah. No, I agree. And I think more than pride, it's like you got to understand the situation, because I don't think lack of effort is his problem. I think he's playing hard, but he's just taking these gambles that are just ridiculous, and he's paying for it. And again, why is he making these gambles? I don't know, but I know that Shane Bowen, Chris Harris, Mike Vrabel, anybody over there on the coaching side of things does not want to see him do things like that. It doesn't help him when the numbers against him from every angle are awful, and so he's costing himself. So he's just got to be smart and, like, again, be sound. I mean, if you give up a 12-yard hitch or whatever, or you give up a slant and, you make the tackle, that's okay, that happens. But, I mean, keep getting double moved like this. It's like, if I'm the Ravens, I'm definitely looking at 26 if he's out there, for sure. But, yeah, he's way better than this. And what you hope, I think, is, like, all of this, he has now become a focal point. You never want to be a negative focal point as a player. It's a contract here, all this stuff, all the conversation, his dad getting involved. You hope if you're the Titans, it becomes him figuring out, okay, this is it. Like, it's urgent now for you to be sound and solid, not great, amazing. You don't have to make sure you get 5 picks the rest of the year to help yourself. You need to show that you can respond and play within the structure of the defense and know what you're in. Because remember, one of the issues here was that he didn't realize they were in quarters coverage against the Browns, and so you got a free receiver catching a wide open touchdown pass. So there's a lot of mistakes in a lot of different ways. I mean, I agree. Like, it's been bad, and at some point you gotta do something else. But I think this is a big kind of prove yourself moment and get yourself right moment for him. And the Titans need that. The idea of just like going to Trey Avery the rest of the season or something like that is like you're limiting your defense if you make that move. So it's a big move to make if you're going to make it.
Well, and then can you stop the run? Baltimore has the fourth best rushing attack in the league. They are at 146 yards per game on the ground. Now, obviously, it's a little bit of a different rushing attack than you're going to get with a lot of these other teams. Like Lamar Jackson's a big part of it. Not maybe as big as he has been, but he's still a big part of the rushing attack. There's no J.K. Dobbins, who suffered another terrible injury at the start of this year. So, but this is obviously a team in Baltimore that wants to run the ball. Miami's the number 1 rushing team in the league. Philadelphia's 2, San Francisco's 3, Baltimore's 4. So they're going to try to run the ball against the Titans on Sunday. And, the way you just made Zach Moss look, we talked about that with PK yesterday. What sort of response is there from the Titans defense to stop the running attack? And if you don't have T.R. Tart again, which we mentioned earlier, still on the injury report, and, Titans fans don't even want to think about not having Jeffrey Simmons in this game. But let's say you've got Simmons and you don't have Tart. Well, what does it look like? How much different does it look than last week against the Colts?
Yeah, it's not a promising prospect. I mean, in either case, whoever's up there, it is definitely a big linebacker game. I mean, those guys have to play well.
Yeah.
And, the Ravens obviously put linebackers in conflict a lot. So big day for Alshire, I think in particular, because I think he's going to be out there a lot. And if you are spying Lamar Jackson, I think it's him. And so, I mean, it's a big day for him. And obviously Jack Gibbons, both those guys just, there were some plays out there that they didn't make or they got blocked. Maybe one of them may have been a little bit of a hold, but that happens in this league too. So they had bad days, and Titans have got to have much better days from them, more like they played against Cincinnati. But also, it's a different offense too. It's a different kind of challenge. So you got to win to some extent up front, and if you don't have Tartar Simmons, that's going to be a challenge.
Yeah, absolutely. And then there's the Titans' offensive side of this. Now, again, this is, I think, also where the schedule comes into play a little bit for Baltimore, because I don't know that I believe their defense is this good. But, I mean, points per game-wise, Ravens have the third best defense in the league right now. They're giving up 15 points per game. And we've gone through the schedule, and they played, the Browns without Deshaun Watson, and Joe Burrow was hurt and all these things. But 15 points a game, Titans are going to have to get over that if they're going to win this game. I don't see the Titans winning this game if they don't get into, 20, 22, somewhere around there.
Is like above 16 than magic numbers.
I hope so.
Since they've been one of the best 16-point scoring teams of all time since they've existed. You'd like to get to 20. Maybe 17 gets you home. I don't know. What's the Titans scoring defense is good too, by the way.
They're ninth.
Yeah, at
18.6 points per game.
Which is, as a lot of – I've heard Shane Bowen say this, like, that's the stat, I've heard Dean Pease say that. That's the stat. It does it kind of contrasts some of what we've seen at times from this defense. But
you hang up a 3 spot against Cincinnati, that's going to help your average in a 5-game stretch. And both the Titans have done that against Cincinnati, and the Ravens have done that against Cleveland.
The Browns, right? So I think, and look, that was my bigger question with the Ravens this year, because they actually have. I mean, they've had some losses. They've kind of eroded a little bit on that side of the ball, but it's like they are just. Again, they're like what the Titans want to be, which is like you basically can just count on them playing pretty solid defense and being physical and, being a tough out every week. And that's kind of what they are again.
This week's Nashville's Best Deal is half off a $50 gift card for Big Play Hendersonville. They offer everything from bowling to laser tag, indoor go-karts, bumper cars, and arcade, fantastic food, and more. Right now, you can get half off a $50 gift card at thegamenashville.com/deals and check out all that they offer. Coming up next, it's time for the best and worst things in sports. We'll take your submissions, your best and worst things on our text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. 615-737-1025 is our phone number. We'll do that next. This is Robby and Rexrode, 102.5-106.3 The Game.
Every Wednesday at 8:30. Join Robby and Rexrode for The Choice is Yours.
2 sports questions, 2 non-sports questions.
They'll answer a couple of questions about life and sports. The Choice is Yours is built by Jarrett Companies. You have a choice. So when you have a need for site and utility work, fire protection, concrete and asphalt services, the choice is simple. It's Jarrett Companies. For more, visit JarrettCompaniesInc.com. The Choice is Yours. Wednesdays at 8:30 on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Whatever your destination in life, you can get there easier with a checking account from F&M Bank. At F&M, our checking accounts give you the tools you need to manage your money well, like our smart free checking account that's actually free, because sometimes the basics are more than enough, making lives better by making banking easier. Come see us at one of our branches or online at myfmbank.com. F&M Bank, banking made easy on purpose. Member FDIC.
Get ready to dig into the future of construction. Look no further than Parman Tractor and Equipment. They've got the power and precision you need with link belt excavators, where red means go. Whether you're looking to rent or buy, link belt excavators are known for reliability and performance. When you see that red and gray machine on the job site, you know it's time to get things done. Parman Tractor's team offers unparalleled service. Visit ParmanTractor.com and get in the dirt with employee owners of Parman, where red means go. Don't miss out on totally outrageous customer service.
Hi, this is Rudy Gatlin of the Gatlin Brothers. Larry, Steve, and I would like to invite you to join us for the 2nd annual Blood Assurance Celebrity Golf Tournament, Monday, October 23rd at the beautiful Hermitage Golf Course. All proceeds benefit local high schools through the Blood Assurance Heroes Grant Fund. There are going to be a lot of great prizes, but one lucky player will win a trip for 2 to play golf in Ireland. To sign up and for more information, go to bloodassurance.org/celebrity-golf. Come on and join us.
Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Dad.
No problem, sweetie.
I can't believe you're able to fit everything in that little sedan.
Bye!
When they move out, you can move on to a house that fits your life. It's time to live in a space that fits your family.
Let Regal Realty Group get you into a home that is less to take care of. Save money or even make money on the sale of your current home. Get more info at regalrg.com.
Blue Raider fans, your home for all the MTSU football and men's basketball action is on 93.3 Classic Hits and 95.1 Classic Hits in the borough. Catch the action all season long with Chip Walters on the call. Go Blue Raiders!
Bundling and saving with Geico is an easy choice, so you're free to ponder life's big questions, like what's the best animal in the world if not humans? I'd strongly consider ducks to be somewhere up there on the list. Think about it. Ducks can swim, ducks can fly, and ducks can walk on land. They have access to all terrains. They are the ultimate animal. And they wiggle their butts when they walk, which is funny. Yeah, ducks are awesome. End of story. Bundling and saving with Geico. It's an easy choice.
At the Home Depot, Saturdays are about 2 things. Easy cleanup with the Ryobi 18-volt ONE+ Whisper Series leaf blower.
And football.
That's right, Reese Davis. With variable speed, it has the power for when you really need it and just the right amount when you don't. And the ONE+ battery platform means you go from yard work to DIY in just a click, so you can get projects done faster.
Which means more time for football.
For football. Upgrade your Saturday with Ryobi and the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Hey, it's Jared. If you're listening to us on I-24 towards Murfreesboro or I-65 towards Spring Hill, make sure you check out 106.3 for another great way to hear Nashville's best sports talk.
You're locked into Robby and Rexrode.
Every morning, first thing.
Presented by TJ Anderson Homes of Benchmark Realty on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app. The best and worst of the sports week now on Robby and Rexrode
On ESPN.
102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
This is the worst.
You look like you're feeling sorry for yourself. Believe in miracles? Yes! Unbelievable.
He's one of one. He is him.
This is a Coke bottle. It's not a crystal ball.
When I woke up this morning, I was feeling pretty dangerous.
Okay, let's go.
It's that time of the week, time for the best and worst things in sports. We'll take your best things, your worst things on our text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com, 615-737-1025. Joe Rexrode, kick us off with your best and worst things in sports for this week.
Someday I need to sit down with Nick and have him explain all the. I know
most of them.
You know most of them.
I know most of them. Yep.
Well, you're young. I'm not. So I'm gonna go. There's a lot of things that you could go with. Like Cristobal would certainly be a good option, but I'd go best just hockey being back. I'm never ready for it. But then you get to Bridgestone today, and it's the home opener, and I really enjoyed watching the Preds the other night. I think they're going to be. It's going to be fun to watch this team try to grow. Forsberg looks primed with O'Reilly to be a really nice combination, and it's just I'm never ready for it, but I'm going to go with that as a best. I mean, bring it on. We got hockey. And pretty soon we got hoops starting up, and then basically you never have to go any night without a good sporting event.
Yep, there's baseball playoffs going on right now.
Baseball playoffs, and I'm kind of enjoying Bryce Harper staring people down, even though I don't understand what the big deal is about saying, "Attaboy, Harper." I mean, you got doubled off, but Bryce Harper, he's
a little dramatic.
He is a little bit. And then my worst thing is the Connor Bedard-Sidney Crosby interview, which we talked about. But, I really want to know if, Sidney Crosby wanted – did he have to be talked into that? Come on. I mean, he seemed miserable doing that.
He did.
And he's like, yeah, and I'm looking forward to coming out there, and I'll just – and basically he turned into, typical Sidney Crosby answering a reporter who says, yeah, we're going to go out and play the game. It's like you're supposed to be having, a fun interview with the rookie, and then Connor Bedard's like, I know you've done a little more than me. You've never played in the NHL.
I know you may have accomplished slightly more than I have to this point.
But, I'm right on your heels. What? He didn't say that. It was painful. I mean, look, I honestly, I give the NHL credit for, trying to blow up a star, the next star. I mean, I think that's –
they're leaning into it.
Yeah, and I know it's annoying for people, but, I think that's actually the right thing to do. But that one was – whew, that was a toughie.
We got to get the people that are the faces of the league here, get a little bit of more personality rolling in at some point. I mean, by all accounts,
if your personality, it's your personality.
But it's thinking it's not, though. People talk about how awesome, Sid is, and then you get the camera and you're like, okay, all right, cool. Same thing with McDavid. People talk about how fun McDavid is.
There's no way.
And then
I don't believe
he
that.
gets on the camera
He's
and you're like,
AI. Isn't he an AI hockey player?
It's like talking to that wood barrel out there. What are you talking about? Yeah, I don't get it. Nick Keiser, your best and worst things in sports.
Yeah, y'all already know where I'm going to go with most of this, but I'm going to be a little bit different from what Joe did. But the Preds' 25th anniversary, it was fun to kind of go through a deep dive with a lot of different characters and do a story that's out now. I have it broken up into a couple of different parts, and looking forward to releasing that over the next few weeks. And yeah, it was good to catch up with a lot of those folks, but also too, just I think the importance of what this franchise is turning into now. You have head coach Andrew Brunette, who's going to be behind the bench and back with the Preds since the very first opening night tonight, because he didn't play in Nashville all but one season. So it'll be nice to see him back out there in Nashville, especially behind the bench. And yeah, I think it's good for the Preds franchise moving forward. My worst in sports, Yeah, I have to go over there too. I think the oversaturation of covering Connor Bedard is ridiculous. I think it's warranted. Yeah, I think it's warranted, like Joe said. I think it's great that we're trying to blow up a superstar, but I think it's a little overdone. And ESPN was pretty much checking in on, hey, how many hours of sleep did he get? Has he gone to pee yet? Like, there was so many different things that they were just touching base on. I was like, oh my gosh, this is ridiculous.
I did enjoy the TNT broadcast. I was watching the Blackhawks Bruins games last night, and on the TNT broadcast, they flashed something up there like, check out BleacherReport.com, where we've got an ISO cam on Connor Bedard, and we follow him around every shift. It's like, okay, maybe some people like to do that. I don't know.
Whew. Yeah. Is he going to be on TV every night? Are they going to play
I think they're gonna have
200 games this year?
They're going to have a lot. All right, my best thing in sports. The Red River rivalry over the weekend was awesome. And, look, I have no stake in the game between Oklahoma and Texas. I mean, I don't root for either one of them. But that game, to me, Joe, was what college football is all about, a rivalry that goes back a long time, a rivalry where there's a good amount of animosity on both sides. You know, the Cotton Bowl, which, you know, I was talking to you about this last week. It's a very good setting. It's also like you're traveling back in time, like the concourses at the Cotton Bowl. You're all scrunched up there together, and it was just a really fun game, really fun environment to watch. And it feels like Oklahoma's going to win, and then Texas drives all the way down the field. They take the lead, and then what a drive by Gabriel that he put together on the last second there to go win the game for Oklahoma. So it's a big win for Brent Venables and that Oklahoma program. But that game, to me, if you watched it, what college football is all about, it was a great game. So far, to me anyway, the game of the year in college football was Oklahoma and Texas. That's my best thing in sports.
Yes,
my worst thing in sports is the Tennessee Titans rush defense. Last week against the Colts, it's got to find a way to get better. And honorary mention, and it's not over yet, but I know a lot of my fellow friends who are Braves fans, they're feeling the heat right now. They're down 2-1 to Philadelphia. Bryce Harper hit an absolute moonshot last night, and then I thought to myself, after he hit the 3-run home run, maybe they won't pitch to him again. And then they pitched to him again, and he hit another one out right over dead center, and that's when he did the stare down. Phillies look pretty good. Phillies do not look like they're afraid of Atlanta at all, and I'm not saying it's over because all you got to do is win 2 in a row if you're the Braves here, but I would be pretty darn nervous if I'm a Braves fan right now.
Got to win tonight.
Yep.
Yeah, but you win tonight and you swing it back home. I mean, I'm not counting them out, but it's been another example of like these teams with the extra rest in this postseason. It's been a tough go, for sure. Why is Shane in the Burrow says best thing is Rexrode tweeting play-by-play college baseball, college football, NFL games. Worst thing is not getting to see my play-by-play tweets of the Admirals. Does this go back to me ripping on play-by-play of the Admirals? I stand by that take.
Do you do play-by-play of college football and NFL games? I don't feel like you're a big offender of that.
No, I mean, like if I'm covering a game, it will be a little more. Like I probably did a few tweets from the Titans game Sunday. I'll be at the Vols game Saturday. I'll tweet some stuff, but it's mostly just observational. It's not like, okay,
3rd and 7.
That was a nice 8-yard gain on 2nd and 6, and now the Vols are set up at the Aggies 38.
I mean, I've thrown
9:17 left in the second quarter.
I've thrown friend of the show, Greg Allman, under the bus for doing that with Tampa games sometimes. He's been a little bit better this year. Not as much play-by-play.
Okay, that's good.
Maybe he's gotten the message. I don't know.
Well, I mean, if anybody wants to – so at Chris Solari, which who Izzo told us was the most annoying media member for him up there.
He did.
Follow him, and if you want to see some play-by-play of a game, oh my goodness. And he always argues, it's like, well – there might be a person who like can't get the game on the radio and they're up north or something and all they have is following on Twitter. Like, well, you know what? That's their problem, man. Don't make the rest of us pay for that person.
That get hypothetical on Twitter, but they can't get on the radio.
Well, exactly. What? It makes no sense.
I got another text that says the worst is Georgia coming to West End this weekend.
Oh boy,
a lot of grown men barking around here. A lot of it.
That was really jarring.
On Broadway.
Last year in Athens. Did I take video and send to you guys? Didn't I do that? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm just, like, standing there around the tunnel, and, like, all of a sudden this dude is just raining, like, bark, bark, bark. I'm like, what are you doing, dude? Like, take a sip of your beer and calm down. You won the game. Cheer. Clap.
A lot of barking
going on.
Say,
good job, guys.
On Broadway.
Yeah.
Could be interesting this weekend.
Yeah.
I imagine.
I don't know if it'll be interesting.
Well, I imagine there'll be a spare few Georgia fans walking around this weekend.
I would think so.
Nashville seems like a fun place for these people to visit.
For anyone to visit.
For anyone. Yeah.
It's a blessing and a curse.
It is. 615-737-1025, our phone number, 615-737-1025. We'll be joined by Predators head coach Andrew Brunette coming up at 7:15. Looking forward to that. Coming up next, we'll get back into the Titans. Got more of your thoughts to get to on that front. This is Robby and Rexrode, 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
Every day we are live and local. You need to give Ron Tannehill a 2-year extension.
There haven't been too many coaching changes for the Predators.
And your source for Nashville sports.
I think that's what the Titans need.
Players who can score.
We are Nashville's best sports talk. 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
ElectronicExpress.com. We make it happen.
It's the final week of the Electronic Express 40th anniversary sale. Visit any of our convenient locations and save up to 40% throughout the entire store. This week, get a TCL 55-inch 4K TV for only $269, or a stainless steel refrigerator only $499. Plus, get up to 60 months special financing on items like a top-load laundry pair, only $349 each, or an HP touchscreen laptop, just $699. Sale ends Saturday. Electronic Express. We make it happen.
Your chance to get that rare, hard-to-find luxury pre-owned Rolex timepiece is happening at Genesis Diamonds. Friday and Saturday, October 20th and 21st, Genesis is hosting an epic pre-owned luxury Rolex event featuring a stunning new selection of these hard-to-find watches. Hulks, Submariners, Daytonas, Pepsis, Batmans, all the hottest models that people wait years for. For this event, you can choose from 5 years financing or get a free pair of 2-carat lab-grown diamond earrings valued at $5,000. Imagine a luxury pre-owned ladies Rolex Datejust for just $199 a month, or a Sea Dweller or Submariner for just $299 a month. No waiting list, no games, just the watch you want at the great Genesis value price you deserve. Also for this event, our pre-owned Rolex buyers will be offering top dollar for your Rolex, so you can buy, sell, or trade. Come see the largest selection of luxury pre-owned Rolex watches in the state. Get the timepiece of your dreams and take advantage of our special financing. Friday and Saturday, October 20th and 21st only, and only at Genesis Diamonds, your home for luxury pre-owned Rolexes. Green Hills and Cool Springs. On approved credit while supplies last. See store for details.
Are you drowning in credit card debt? Want to get cash out of your home's equity? Loan Pronto can do it now in less than a week. Hey, Willie Donick here. That's right. Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit just got even faster. You can get $50,000, $100,000, even $200,000 in as little as 5 days. You don't even have to touch your primary mortgage. You can keep that 3% rate intact. Get just the money you need and pay off all those credit cards, or get that home improvement project started. With this revolutionary program, you can access up to 90% of your home's value, and in most cases, there's no appraisal. Stop paying insane interest rates to the credit card companies and get tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash in as little as 5 days. Call Loan Pronto now for the even faster Equity Express line. 615-499-5780. That's 615-499-5780, or go to loanpronto.com. 615-499-5780. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine. It can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
Your Game Center update.
This is Nick Keiser. The Tennessee Titans are set to fly over to London today for their matchup against the Baltimore Ravens this weekend, and quarterback Ryan Tannehill addressed his message to teammates and plan the Titans have once they get there.
Just try to convey to the guys
take advantage of the rest on the plane. When you get there, hit the ground running, take advantage of your Friday, and try to get a good night's rest that Friday night once we get there. So then after that, it's handle business as usual. Don't try to look back and see what time it is back in the States. Look at the clock, whatever time it is, that's what it is, and tell yourself that, and just go with it.
And over in the MLB, the Arizona Diamondbacks got their brooms out, sweeping the Los Angeles Dodgers after a 4-2 win last night. The Diamondbacks are now back in the NL Championship Series for the first time since 2017. And stay tuned for Nashville Predators' new head coach, Andrew Brunette, as he's set to join Robby and Rexrode at 7:15 to preview tonight's matchup against the Seattle Kraken and a whole lot more. You're listening to 102.5 and 106.3 The Game.
Live from the Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical Studios. WPRT-FM Pegram, WPUC HD2 Laverne. Nashville's exclusive home for the Nashville Predators. 102.5 and 106.3.
79-52 Vanderbilt. I think he's going to coach him up by Cheryl.
You're going to see more moves. The Game.
A Cromwell Media Station.
Mixing sports and a little bit of fun.
This is fun!
On your morning drive. This is Robby and Rexrode. With Robby Stanley and Joe Rexrode. Presented by TJ Anderson Homes of Benchmark Realty. On Nashville's best sports talk. 102.5 and 106.3 The Game. And on the Game Nashville app.
Ladies and gentlemen,
it's showtime.
Hour number 2, Robby and Rexrode, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Robby Stanley, Joe Rexrode, Nick Keyser here with you. Junie Riddle hanging out this morning as well. We are live from Pete and Terry's Tavern at Bridgestone Arena. Predators taking on the Seattle Kraken tonight in the home opener. We're going to be joined by Predators head coach Andrew Brunette coming up at 7:15. So looking forward to that. Right now, taking your thoughts as well. 615-737-1025. Our phone number, 615-737-1025. Your thoughts on our phone and text lines, which, as always, are driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Robby and Rexrode, presented by TJ Anderson Homes of Benchmark Realty. Call TJ's team today to see why they're referred to so often. Joe, we're going to have Charles Robinson coming on at 8 o'clock. One thing I am interested to talk to him about, and you've been looking at it all morning, the Kirk Cousins part of this. Kirk Cousins was asked yesterday about whether or not he'd move his no-trade clause in Minnesota, and his response basically was, I'm not focusing on stuff like that right now. But I am interested to see if the Viking season continues to go downhill. Could they move Cousins? What would that look like? Could they move him this season? Would he waive his no-trade clause? And would whatever team that trades for him have to sign him to a new contract if that takes place? But your boy Captain Kirk, maybe not on the move. We'll wait and see.
I am totally on board now. I am so excited about this. Save Kirk. Free Kirk. Hashtag free Kirk. Get him out of there. Anybody watch that game? He was absolutely last on the list of issues and they almost won. I mean, they almost beat the Chiefs. But if they lose to the Bears, they will lose to the Niners. They will be 1-6, and the Vikings aren't going long term with Kirk Cousins. They've already declared that. So to me, there was a tweet. I don't remember who was the tweet. Who had the tweet? It had 4 teams. Whatever, some NFL,
yeah, it was account. The Titans, the Falcons. Who were the other two?
Jets and Patriots.
That's right.
Jets, I don't buy. Here's the thing: Kirk Cousins has a no trade clause, right? So he has to waive it. That's why he was asked that question. I don't see him waiving it, except for a team that will at least give him like a 2-year deal after this, right? Like, why would you? Like, then okay, fine. No, I'm not waiving it, and I'll go to free agency
unless. And I don't know that any of those 4 teams that you just mentioned apply, unless he feels like if he joins one of those teams this year on an expiring deal, that he's got a chance to make the playoffs and win.
Yeah, but like if you look around teams that that might be interested, I do think that the Patriots and Falcons, the Titans, that doesn't make sense. They just drafted Will Levis.
Yeah.
The Jets, I think Aaron Rodgers is back next year, so I don't see why they're investing in it. And I think the Vikings will get something for Kirk Cousins from somebody. But the Falcons, Arthur Smith, everything they have going on running the ball, they're getting better on defense. You put Kirk Cousins there, dude, that could be really good.
I agree.
They're winning that division with him. And I think if you're him, you could look at that. You're not signing up for a rental and then we're going to win the Super Bowl. They're not going to be that good. No. But you could grow with that team, and it could time up pretty well. I think that partnership between it's like Arthur Smith-Tannehill partnership, and I think it's a very similar level of player. I mean, Cousins is a little bit better than Tannehill, but it's close, But you can win. If Tannehill was in Atlanta right now, they'd win the division flat out. So I'm on board. Go Bears.
Got another texter that says, what has to happen during the course of the season, in your opinion, that would make the Titans make a quarterback change? At what point could that be? Is 3-7 the line of demarcation for you? We talked about this with Kuharski.
Yeah, we talked about this yesterday with Kuharski. So it's basically just comes down to at what point do you have to acknowledge it's not happening for you? So some of that has to do with, like, are the Jags going to go on a tear here and get some distance? And you're like, okay, I know if you really want to cling to something, you could sit there and say, well, the Jags were 4 games back at Thanksgiving last year and won the division. It is possible, but
that's true.
I think that makes sense. The 10-game mark, if you're 3-7 or worse, then I think move on. You're not going to do anything. You're not winning out from there. So something like that. But it's gonna be, I think, at least that long, right? Unless. But the thing is, let's say the Jags go on a run. It's still, you're probably still going to be hanging around the wild card discussion, right? So, but if the Titans, if they're 4-6 or better at 10, you're going to keep going. You're going to keep going until you're not in it. So, and I have no idea, honestly, at this point. I look at their schedule and I still see quite a few pretty good chances for wins. I see some good chances for losses too, including at Miami and having to play Baby Hands in prime time. Mm-hmm. Your Junie's boy, Baby Hands. That's probably going to be an L. But there's some wins too. There's some wins on that schedule, maybe.
Well, so both the Jags and the Titans are 5 games in. Jags are 3-2, Titans 2-3. Next 5 games for the Jags. Home against the Colts, at New Orleans, at Pittsburgh, home against San Francisco, and then home against the Titans on November 19th. So those are your next 5 games if you're Jacksonville at that point. I mean, first off, it's kind of like the Titans-Colts last year. The Jags and the Colts are going to be done after Sunday. I mean, it's over. They've already played each other twice.
That's wild.
By October the 15th, which is just wild that the NFL continues to schedule things that way.
And dumb.
On the road against New Orleans, that's a Thursday night game too, by the way. And then you got on the road against the Steelers the next week, at home against San Francisco. San Francisco looks like the best team in the league right now. I say all that to say I don't know that I see Jacksonville
taking off
and just totally separating from everybody right now.
If they do in that stretch,
then
you need to look at reality a little bit. Yeah. No, that's a very – hey, man, Minshew and his mustache are coming for revenge, this weekend. Minshew's going to be like, you picked Trevor Lawrence over me? How dare you? Well, here you go. God, I'm here for that game.
Well, look at this stretch, though. I mean, the Colts are 3-2. They're right there with Jacksonville in first place. If they win this weekend, they'll be there. The Colts have Jacksonville at home against the Browns, and then it's home against the Saints, on the road against Carolina, and on the road against New England. It's not a overly difficult stretch that the Colts have coming up. I don't know how good they are, and Gardner Minshew is going to be their quarterback in all those games, but it's not necessarily just a super daunting schedule for the Colts coming up in their next 5.
I mean, they got the next Le'Veon Bell, so
apparently
I think they got a chance to. Make a run. Ryan from Chicago sends me in all caps, "Bear down, Rexrode, bear down."
He was texting me the other night about Jordan Love.
Oh, I bet he was.
Bears win 1 game. All of a sudden, everybody's everybody's fired up.
We're so excited.
LD from Menville says, if 3-7 happens, who plays, Willis or Levis?
Yeah,
it's
a great question. I mean, but yeah, I think that now that you get some separation from the preseason, the preseason, you're in the preseason and you have so many, it's like a different team. You know what I mean? It's like a different time. I'm not expressing this well, but I think it's got to be Will Levis, right? I mean, Will Levis is who this front office moved up to the top of the second round to draft to be the next quarterback. If it was going to be Malik Willis, and again, I think you have to keep an open mind on everything. The San Francisco 49ers are the perfect example. You don't know. Get them on the field, you don't know. But Although I think Malik Willis stayed ahead of Will Levis in part because Levis was hurt. I think it should be Will Levis. I mean, I think you have declared by drafting him that you don't think Willis is the quarterback of the future and that you think Levis is the quarterback of the future, right?
I think. But like you said, got to keep an open mind.
Malik Willis has helped himself. Has helped himself. To me, I wasn't sure if he could stay in the league after last year. Now, to be fair, shouldn't have played. But he's helped himself. He's gotten himself to a better spot. I think he can be a backup in this league. I don't know that Malik Willis is a starter in this league. Will Levis is going to get the opportunity to be the franchise quarterback of the Tennessee Titans.
Coming up next, we'll be joined by Predators head coach Andrew Brunette. We'll look ahead to the home opener tonight against Seattle. That is next. This is Robby and Rexrode, 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
Vanderbilt football lives here.
This Saturday, it's Vanderbilt and Georgia from First Bank Stadium. Kickoff at 11 a.m. Coverage starts at 9:30.
Your home for the Commodores is 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Attention all fire protection, commercial plumbing, and HVAC experts. Jarrett Companies are looking for experienced field technicians like you. Tired of working for your large corporate employer? Work for a company where you're more than just a number. Jarrett's Fire Protection, commercial plumbing, and HVAC divisions are owned and operated by Nashville natives who want you to grow with their amazing team.
Hi, I'm Jason Jarrett, owner of Jarrett Companies. I'm looking to hire experienced experts and will offer a sign-on bonus of up to $5,000 for certified professionals. In addition to our great benefits that include a 401k match, PTO, and top pay with annual bonuses, we'll also provide you with top-of-the-line tools, trucks, and equipment that you need to grow your career. Our customer base is large and our business is booming with many opportunities for advancement. Give us a call or go online to JarrettCompaniesInc.com and apply today to become a member of our family and protect our community. That's JARRETT CompaniesInc.com. Jarrett Companies, where we are above and beyond industry standards.
At Mercedes-Benz of Music City, a healthy and productive culture takes a day-to-day discipline. Here's Sam Cavett, General Manager, with a few thoughts.
Mercedes-Benz has its standard, and we have Dream Motor Group standards. They're definitely on the same level, but I feel like we challenge ourselves at least as much as Mercedes-Benz challenges us. It's a genuine motivation to take care of customers, and we see it in the customer reviews.
Live the dream at Mercedes-Benz of Music City, mbofmc.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. That's right, get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but for 95% less. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. hims.com/joy.
Some people just know the perfect time to hit the concession stand. Those are the people who know to choose Allstate.
Woo! Nice! I never miss a touchdown. Want a bite?
Yeah, he knows he's got a sixth sense for a snack break. Just like he knows that switching to Allstate can save drivers $468.
Saving $468 is based on the national average annual savings for new auto customers surveyed in 2022 who switched to Allstate. Prices may vary based on how you buy. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Hey, if you're thinking about getting the latest iPhone, check this out. With Boost Infinite, you get the latest iPhone every year and unlimited wireless for just $60 a month. Yeah, you get the new titanium iPhone 15 Pro that was just announced. Then again, next year you get the latest iPhone. Every year. Boost Infinite. Infinitely better. To learn more, pick up your phone, dial pound 250 and say Boost Infinite. That's pound 250 and say Boost Infinite. Terms apply. After 30 gigabytes, service may be slowed. Receive a comparable iPhone model each year with an acceptable trade-in every year. Requires credit qualification and 36-month phone financing agreement. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from this station's network.
Want to weigh in on the conversation? It's a brain booster. Slide into our DMs. Or just text or call at 615-737-1025. Our phone line is driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. You're listening to Robby and Rexrode.
It's part of this nutritious breakfast.
Presented by TJ Anderson Homes of Benchmark Realty on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Welcome back in, Robby and Rexrode, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Robby Stanley, Joe Rexrode, Nick Keyser here with you on this Thursday morning. We are live at Bridgestone Arena in advance of the Predators taking on the Seattle Kraken tonight in the home opener. And to help us talk more about that, we go to our 102.5 The Game phone line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com, and welcome in Predators head coach Andrew Burnett, presented by the new Zen Sports Sportsbook with cash rewards and the easiest, simplest betting experience possible. Betting just got better. Andrew, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, guys. Yeah, doing great. Opening day.
Absolutely. It's an exciting time here in Nashville. Andrew, the season gets started the other night in Tampa Bay. Obviously not the results you wanted. I thought you guys, after the first period, really played well in the second and third periods and gave yourself a chance in that game. Overall, what did you think of the season opener from your group?
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't know if it was nerves going into Tampa. Obviously, the success they've had over the years, I thought we were a little bit tentative early. It wasn't a very good first period, but I thought after that we went to work, kind of got the nerves out and got to our game in the second, and obviously the third, kind of some bad luck on some penalties, some maybe lack of discipline on a couple, and a team like Tampa with that power play that's probably been the best in the league the last 5-6 years. You can't give them those opportunities third period. So that hurt us. It was a winnable game, but I thought we did a lot of good things and things to build on going forward.
Yeah, so Andrew, that top line obviously gets a lot done. Some tremendous plays. It seems like there's some really good chemistry there already, and I think no one's surprised to see Philip Forsberg and Ryan O'Reilly have good chemistry quickly. But you so personally with those guys, why did you like that combination, and what do you think the potential is for those three together?
Well, I think right from the start, Ryan O'Reilly, bringing him in, I think he fits with anybody. And I think Phil and him, obviously Phil's an elite offensive player. Ryan is a 200-foot, real cerebral player. And you could tell right off the hop that they really enjoy playing with each other. We lost Parse a little bit early in training camp, and he came in, and we injected him and they really kind of meshed through the latter half of camp. But they play well off each other. Phil and Ryan, you could tell they enjoy playing with each other. They're looking for each other, and they've developed some pretty good chemistry. And then Parse is just a good, honest, smart hockey player that plays a 200-foot game and just a real worker for those guys, and he has the brain to play with them. So it's been a good combination. They played really well, I thought, in Tampa, again, especially in that second and third period.
Andrew, we talked with you throughout camp in terms of obviously implementing the new system and getting players up to speed that way. As a coach going into a season, what's your expectation in terms of getting the new system completely in, and when you expect your players to fully have it down and to be comfortable with it? And where do you think you guys are in that process right now?
We're getting there. We're chipping away at it. I think as a coach, we don't really know the timeline. Obviously, in our business, we want it right away. But I think sometimes you have to be a little realistic. And for these players, it's a little bit uncomfortable, some of the things that we're asking to do in the system. And it's good to be out of your comfort zone once in a while. So I think we're getting there. We're not there yet, and the process doesn't really have a timetable. I think as long as you see improvement every day, I think we're worlds ahead of ourselves where we were after that first exhibition game to where we are now. And we'll just keep chipping away at it. The guys are eager. They want to play that style. They want to learn it. So when that happens, usually you get there a little faster than you think you do.
And then, the power play, Andrew, obviously the first one was tough. You couldn't get really anything set up, but then I thought you could start to see it come together quickly just in that first game. Where do you think things are with that moving forward from here?
Well, I think we're still trying to figure that out too. Obviously, coming in as a new coach, and you're familiar with your players just throughout the league. But till you work with them day to day, till you see them, till you see their tendencies, till you see where they fit, what their exact skill set is. You can look from the outside and think a certain player is this or that. But till you get inside and you start working with them, I think you really start seeing what his real strengths are and what his weaknesses, and where's the best place for him, and how do they fit, and where's the chemistry. So I still think that's the work too. I really like the first one. Obviously, we didn't do anything right in the first period, so that kind of fell in line to to what we were doing. But I thought in the second they got us momentum. That kind of turned the game around. First, we had a big kill at the start of the second, and I thought the power play, the two we had a lot of opportunities and chances to score, and then we got one in the third, which would have been a huge goal to put us up. But unfortunately, we got in a little penalty trouble, and we let that one go. But I liked it to start, but working with a power play for as long as I know there's ups and downs. I wouldn't say it's real smooth, but again, we're gonna work on it to get it there.
Predators head coach Andrew Brunette with us here on Robby and Rexrode. Andrew, on your blue line, you've got a guys that have played a lot of hockey in this league. What do you make of the depth that you guys have on defense, and I guess the options that gives you as a coach as you guys try to navigate through the season here?
Yeah, I mean, we have 7 NHL defensemen that have all played and all had good careers. So that it's always nice to have depth. And then organizationally, I think if you look down, the Delgazos and the Stastnys and the Molendykes and the Willsbys, Livingstones coming. I mean, that's encouraging. So there's a lot of depth in that position, and there's a lot of experience. So I think it's a good combination to have. It was a very competitive training camp, not just on the back end, but with the youth of the third line and some of these guys vying for position. So organizationally, that's a great thing. Coaching wise, sometimes that obviously you got some tough decisions and you're going to have some unhappy people, but our job is to keep them all motivated and pulling the same rope here for the team.
Talking to Preds coach Andrew Brunette, of course, big home opener tonight here at Bridgestone. And Andrew, we were talking earlier about UC Saros, obviously a great goaltender in this league, one of the best goaltenders in the league, a guy who has gotten a lot of work, in recent seasons. Do you have a plan in mind in terms of number of games or how you want to rest them, or is it just sort of wait and see how things go?
Well, you always have a plan, kind of like Mike Tyson says, till you get punched in the nose. So I think I think he's as good as it is in the game, and you love to see him in every game. But we got a very good backup in Kevin Lankin, and that is just almost a very similar copy of Saros, where he's just such a competitive, hardworking kid, and he's very capable. So we're pretty lucky in that department. Obviously, with Juice, you'd like to play him every night, but we understand and we have a plan for him to get him at top of his game for whatever the workload is.
Andrew, Tommy Novak, seemingly last year, at least to us, on the outside with the untrained eye, comes out of nowhere, looks really, really good offensively. He's got the great goal on the other night in the season opener against Tampa Bay, where it just looks like he's got about the size of a coffee cup to put that puck, and he's able to put it there. What have you learned about Novak, the skill set that he brings to the table, and just what stands out to you offensively about his game?
Well, I've not known him, but I've seen Tommy being in Minnesota for as long as I was. He was a kind of a youth, I wouldn't say phenom, but you were aware of him, and you'd see him playing, and he was just a highly intelligent, slippery, great hands, vision player, and then you kind of lose sight of him a little bit, and then he reappears, and it's like, oh, there he is, and that's Tommy. I mean, credit to him, the resiliency he's shown to work through the American League, to work through injuries, to work through a hard time, and once he got his opportunity last year, he kind of took off. So I'm really, obviously, a credit to him for the grit and resilience he showed to go through the hard ways to get here. He's a very unique player. I think he's very slippery through the neutral zone. He's got sneaky hands. He's kind of a guy that you think you're sit back, and he has an uncanny ability to make plays in tight areas. So he's a unique guy. I think for me, I'm not surprised at the offensive ability he has. We've got to work a little bit on the 200-foot game, but he fits in really nice. I thought the kid line all through camp were really good, and I thought that second and third period they created some chances for us that we need from that line. So he's been a good, nice. I wouldn't say surprise because I've been aware of him for a long time, but it's been fun to work with him.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. The kid line, as you said, obviously a high level of interest from fans for all three of those guys. But, of course, lines change during the season. Any of them could move to different spots and help out. How is it important for you, Andrew, to keep them together as much as you can this year to kind of build that chemistry among the three of them?
Well, you try to keep them as long as you can. You know, they're young players. They're going to have ups and downs, and you hope that they keep at the path that they're on because they're creating every night. So you'd like to keep them together, but other lines need some help too, and it's kind of a day-to-day. Like the rest of our game, we're kind of day-to-day. So we'll see where it's going, but I really like what I've seen from them so far.
Well, Andrew, we appreciate so much you taking time to be with us this morning. We're looking forward to the home opener tonight and looking forward to talking with you throughout the year. Thanks for being with us, and we'll talk to you soon.
Great talking to you. Enjoy the day. Thanks.
Absolutely. Predators head coach Andrew Burnett, our guest here on Robby and Rexrode. We'll take your thoughts on the Preds home opener. React to what Andrew Burnett had to say there. 615-737-1025 is our phone number, 615-737-1025. All that coming up next. This is Robby and Rexrode, 1025-1063, The Game.
Family Leisure invites you to relax at home this fall with all our indoor products on sale now.
Enjoy the movie theater experience with theater seating from Family Leisure. 3-piece sets start at only $9.99. Massage chairs are only $14.99 as well.
30 pool tables on display. Hundreds in stock for immediate delivery. Pool tables start at $14.99 install.
Family Leisure has above-ground pools ready for immediate installation.
Outdoor and wicker furniture. Huge selection still in stock.
Family Leisure's Relax at Home sale.
Antioch and Franklin.
We gather together in communities across the nation to remember and honor, to celebrate and support, to light the night. We are LLS, and when we walk, cancer runs. Find your local event at lightthenight.org.
Are you drowning in credit card debt? Want to get cash out of your home's equity? Loan Pronto can do it now in less than a week. Hey, Willie Donick here. That's right. Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit just got even faster. You can get $50,000, $100,000, even $200,000 in as little as 5 days. You don't even have to touch your primary mortgage. You can keep that 3% rate intact. Get just the money you need and pay off all those credit cards or get that home improvement project started. With this revolutionary program, you can access up to 90% of your home's value, and in most cases, there's no appraisal. Stop paying insane interest rates to the credit card companies and get tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash in as little as 5 days. Call Loan Pronto now for the even faster Equity Express line. 615-499-5780. That's 615-499-5780 or go to loanpronto.com. 615-499-5780. Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval.
Are you ready for the ultimate entertainment experience? Look no further than Big Play Hendersonville. Get ready to embark on an adventure like no other. Whether you're a kid or a kid at heart, Big Play Hendersonville has something for everyone. And right now, you can get half off a $50 gift card to check out all they have to offer, from bowling to laser tag, indoor go-karts, bumper cars, and more. They offer fantastic food options as well. Big Play isn't just a place, it's an experience. Get half off now at the game Nashville.com/deals.
Thanks for the coffee. No problem. With my cash rewards card from Navy Federal Credit Union, I get up to 1.75% cash back. Isn't it 1.5%? Now it's up to 1.75%. That's bigger and better. I bought these scones with my cash back. I love scones. Me too. Scones for everyone.
When you sign up for direct deposit, you can earn up to 1.75% cash back with the Cash Rewards Card. Learn more at NavyFederal.org. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Insured by NCUA.
Sometimes it's good to be loud.
This is the NFL.
Especially when you're Jared Stillman.
That's where we are.
He's not afraid to say what's on his mind each and every day.
That was embarrassing. I don't care if you're a rookie. That was embarrassing.
Stillman and Company. Weekdays at 2 on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Hey, Nashville, this is Eli Gold, voice of the Alabama Crimson Tide, and you're listening to Nashville's best sports talk, ESPN 102.5 The Game.
Welcome back in, Robby and Rexrode, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. We are live from Pete and Terry's Tavern here at Bridgestone Arena. Preds taking on the Seattle Kraken tonight for the home opener. Thanks to Preds coach Andrew Burnett for joining us in the last segment. Really appreciate that. He'll be joining us him or a member of the coaching staff joining us every Thursday morning at 7:15. So looking forward to that.
I think after that interview, he's probably going to pull rank and everybody else will be like, nah, you know what? I want to do the interview.
Yeah. I mean it's pretty good.
It had to have been scintillating on his side of things.
I mean, I'm
right?
sure he enjoyed every last second of it.
Yeah.
I'll ask him later today.
It was pretty obvious.
Yeah, I think it was too. 615-737-1025 is our phone number. By the way, Nick Keyser live from our 102.5 The Game studio, brought to you by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. Nick made his Preds Insiders, not debut, but Nick and I hosting Preds Insiders all season long. So our first show of the season last night. So keep tuned into that Wednesday nights at 6 o'clock, leading into Penalty Box Radio with Alex Doherty and Sean Smith. We've broken down kind of the Seattle game tonight. What were your takeaways from Andrew Brunette, that conversation? I think particularly interesting to see his approach with some of the kids, with Parsonen on that top line, and then the kid line, as he termed it, which maybe not as good as an Evangelino. We'll see if that can grow.
I was going to throw an Evangelino at him, but let's just see if they stick together for a while. That's what I was trying to get to, you know.
We can name it, but I am interested to see how long those guys are kept together. Like Evangelista and Novak have been together basically the whole time. Like they played a lot of last year together, both in Milwaukee and here in Nashville, and now they're starting off this year together again. So it feels like everybody likes Evangelista and Novak together. Now they've paired Tomasino with those guys too. I'm interested to see how long that line sticks together. They did. I mean, Evangelista had a really good look the other night in, I believe, the second period. I still think 5-on-5, those guys can be a little bit better than they were the other night. But Novak continuing to just put the puck in the back of the net and produce on a nightly basis.
Yeah, I thought that was really interesting. It was a really interesting breakdown from Andrew Brunette on Tommy Novak, who continues to be just one of those people sleep on him. I mean, at some point you can't say everybody's sleeping on him when we keep talking about how people sleep on him, right? Like he's good, but I think that was one of the most interesting questions coming this year. Is like, is that who this guy is? And and what does that mean? Is there more ahead? He's one of those. It's like he maybe you're underwhelmed a little bit, right? Physically by what he is, but hey man, when you've got that kind of feel, and as Andrew Brunette said, hands like that, and you're sneaky tough, to get off the puck and all that stuff, he just keeps making plays. I mean, that goal he had the other night was I'd like him to do that again.
Yeah,
but that was pretty special. And the shooting percentage last year was very high, so so it's like you expect some regression, but he's a good player.
Tim on the text line says, every time I hear Brunette speak, it makes me eager for the team's future. Another texter says, love his demeanor. Great choice. So excited from this change. A little bit different tune from Predators fans this year with the coach.
I don't know if I can handle all this positivity, guys.
What are we doing on the text line? That's not how this thing went the last couple of years.
Yeah, come on. You're supposed to be complaining about. Look, it is like – I don't think, like, demeanor-wise, whatever, I think Andrew Brunette, I think he's an exciting young coach, got a chance to do something good. I don't understand the just outright, starting with Jared, like hatred for John Hines. But you know what? They have moved on.
They have.
So there you go. Also on the text line with Robby and Rexrode.
Yep.
Do you think Parson will be a big player in Nashville? I'm a huge fan of Parson.
I am too.
Yeah, I don't know what the ceiling. I don't know where it ends up with him. But I love that quote from Andrew Brunette. He's got the brain to play with those guys.
Yeah.
I thought that was a really interesting way to say it. And I thought so last year. I'm like, the thing about that guy is he sees some things out there that he quicker than other people do, along with like the big body and all the things you like about his game. I think he's got a real sense, like an extra little sense out there, and playing with those guys could be pretty fun to watch.
Well, look, you don't want to overstate it because, I mean, he's 22 years old, so there's still, I think, a lot for him to learn and a lot to figure out. I mean, he had 25 points in 45 games last year. And the unfortunate part about the second half of last year when they started trading people off and they brought up a lot of the young guys is what he missed a lot of that time. Like, he missed a lot of the games last year because he was hurt.
Yeah, it's too bad because it was a great opportunity.
Yeah, like I would have been really interested to see what he did during that stretch. I love everything about him. I love the size that he has. I think he's got good skating ability for his size. You mentioned the brain, like the hockey IQ that he plays with. I think there's a little bit of edge.
Nasty.
Borderline cockiness there, which I like. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. I think it's good. Like, I think he's got a little bit of screw you to him when he's out there playing, which I think the Predators have needed a little bit more of, especially from some of their younger offensive guys. So, I mean, look, he's He's 6'3". He's probably 220 pounds at this point. He's incredibly difficult to knock off the puck. I think he can be really good. Like, numerically, what does that mean? I don't know. Like, some of that's going to depend on where he plays. Is he going to stay with Forsberg and O'Reilly for the most part all year? Is he going to move up and down the lineup? Can he stay healthy? But ability-wise, I mean, you saw it on the goal the other night. He makes the play defensively to get things started. He gets away from the puck, moves well without it, gets behind the defense. Forsberg finds him. And it's one thing to get behind the defense. You got to be able to finish. And the nice, just smooth poise of sliding that right between the 5-hole is really good. So can he be a 30-goal guy? Can he be a 65, 70-point guy at some point? I don't know. But I like everything about what I've seen from Parson to this point.
Yeah. And I agree. There is a little bit of little bit of an edge for sure. So it's cool that he's getting this opportunity. I think, like you said, Forsberg, O'Reilly, that seems to be like they're going to be together.
Yeah.
And Evangelista, the Novanja part of that line will be together. Novak and Evangelista.
Correct.
Thank you. And then we'll see. Maybe some moving around and things like that. And we'll find out just about Andrew Brunette as a coach and how. I mean, John Hines was, to me, a very reactive coach in terms of line changes.
Agreed.
Like, I thought there was probably fair criticism of him, along with the fact that he's the worst coach in hockey history and should never get another job.
Yes.
We
said that Vrabel should be fired yet
in
today.
Nashville. Yeah, he's almost as bad a coach in hockey as Vrabel is in football.
Yes, thank you.
It's amazing.
Glad we got
Historically bad coaches in Nashville, but in all seriousness, that's something we're just going to find out with Andrew Brunette as we move forward. And also, he didn't want to specify on Saros, but just how he looks at that too. So LD says, I don't watch very little hockey, but the Preds coach sounds like a good guy, seems to have a good personality. Nice interview. I mean, let's not forget the interview side from us.
Yeah,
amazing questions.
Pretty well done by us too, I have to say. Look, the most intriguing part to me about this group right now at forward is the glass line, because look, people get caught up way too much in numbers. Like, that's the second line. It's like, well, it is, but it doesn't really matter. Like, right now they have a top line, and then they've got two other lines that I think are pretty interchangeable between that
middle six
and the Novak
line. They got
line.
a middle six.
They got a middle six, which is fine. I personally am not sold that playing with Nyquist and Sherwood is what is best going to set up Glass for success. That's just me. Now, I realize, somebody's going to have to play with them.
Yeah, so someone had to get hosed in this lineup.
Right, like you go – and look, I'm not trying to be disrespectful to Nyquist and Sherwood. I just, at this stage of his career, Nyquist to me is he's like a 15-goal guy. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I think he's around a 15-goal guy. Sherwood had a good year last year and became a full-time NHL player, but Sherwood to me is not a top 6 player. So what does all that mean for Cody Glass? Cody Glass is going to get power play time. He got power play time the other night. You got to make sure you take advantage of that. But at some point, like, how do you get Cody Glass going where he can be more of a driver of your offense? Because I'm just not convinced that with who he's playing with right now that we're going to see that all that much. If you do, then great. But I don't know that I love the offensive capability from Nyquist and Sherwood playing with Glass right now.
I mean that line is a reminder that that this is an incomplete team.
Correct.
That's just what it is. It does enable, because I could see, I don't know, maybe like a Tomasino and Glass to be together at some point.
For Game-O, at some point if he gets in there, I think that'd be a good spot for him to slide into. But
but it does allow for this Evangelista line, which I'm very interested to watch. I mean, frankly, the top line looked great the other night, but that's, to me, the high interest. And I thought Evangelista, whatever, jittery. I don't know. He missed some opportunities, I thought, the other night. But I think, although I'm not quite as bullish on the Hockey Hall of Fame for him as you are, I think that he's going to do well. And I could see him. Yeah, I could see him. Tonight being a guy who makes. In fact, we got Pred Pick to Click later, so
we do.
I'm just saying. I'm just throwing that out there.
We'll see what happens.
He's a very intriguing player.
Let's go to our 102.5 The Game phone line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. and welcome in Nate. Nate, good morning. Thanks for calling in.
What's up, guys? I've got a question that I think Jared would hang up on the caller if you asked it on his show for y'all. So I think it's perfect for y'all show.
Okay.
Did y'all see the commercial with UC Saros and Ryan O'Reilly?
I did.
Yeah, it was
I did
good.
see that.
So I was going to say, what did y'all think, and how long before the Preds start having a skid do the fans start yelling Saros and O'Reilly need to start focusing more on hockey than the commercials?
Well, I hope that doesn't happen, but I can't say that I'd be surprised if I did see that. I thought it was good.
I liked
acting
it.
from UC Saros in the Mass Mutual commercial. It's good stuff.
Yeah, exactly. You get Saros to induce some laughs.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Both what I am about to say here might be a little bit of a hot take. We'll see. Like, depending on how they handle the contract part of this, like, I think UC Saros has a chance to be every bit as good here as Pecorine was. I do.
It's funny you said that because I've been thinking about that as a writing potential at some point.
If you look at the numbers,
hot take.
He's kind of been better
City.
to this point. But all that being said,
ooh boy. So in other words, you want to take down that Pekka statue?
No, I'm
and
just
put
saying.
UC in? Is that what you're saying?
One thing that there is a little bit of
Headline.
a difference in the post-game quoting ability.
Yeah, but
again,
was,
there's some personality from UC.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a funnier commercial than I ever saw Pecorine do.
I agree.
Build the statue.
Constructed
National radio host.
Constructed right in front of Rene where they're just looking at each other.
Yeah, there you go.
You can walk between them.
Or maybe
Saros and Rene.
Pekka's got him on, he's like under his,
his
like a little
wing.
baby cub, National radio host, Saros better than Rene. There we go.
I'm just saying there's a chance.
Put it on Twitter.
All things go well. We'll see. 615-737-1025, our phone number. Coming up next, it's time for the Rex Rant with Joe Rexrode. You can check it out every morning at 7:45. We will do that next. This is Robby and Rexrode, 102.5, 106.3, The Game.
We are Nashville's best sports talk, live and local from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. When you want the national
Hey. I got this. I'll take it from here.
Okay, go ahead. Dying to hear this.
We have the best national voices that you'll find anywhere.
Who was more deserving of being thrown from their game?
I'm odd, so I get the odd picks.
They have a new coaching staff.
It's not a bad scenario for them.
We are 102.5 and 106.3 The Game.
And 94.9 The Fan.
Get a great deal on select Kubota equipment, the #1 rated tractor brand for durability and owner experience in the U.S. The versatile lineup is built to help you make the most of your land. Right now at participating dealers, get a Kubota compact tractor for 0 down, 0% APR for 84 months, plus up to $800 on qualifying implements. Now through October 31st, see Krebs Kubota or go to KubotaUSA.com/disclaimers for full disclaimer. Krebs Kubota, Middle Tennessee's preferred equipment dealer. Convenient locations in Columbia, Franklin, and Murfreesboro. Visit us online at KrebsKubota.com.
Come try Calabria Brick Oven Pizzeria. Their pizza is cooked to perfection, but that's not all they're known for. Try one of their delicious appetizers, salads, fresh calzones, and they have a full bar and dessert. Calabria has been a Mount Juliet staple for 7 years now and has a new location in the heart of Goodlettsville off Long Hollow Pike. Come join the family at Calabria. After all, life's too short to eat bad pizza.
Hey, are you seeking relief? Maybe you just want to enhance your day or night. Did you know there are legal THC products available right here in Tennessee? Yeah, really. You can have legal THC products shipped directly to the comfort of your home. Yes, comfort in cannabis is only a website away. Visit greentreescompany.com. That's Green Trees with a Z, and change your life today.
Art, sound, and sensory overload. Tool 2024 North American Tour. January 23rd, Bridgestone Arena. With special guest, Elder. Experience the sound and vision of Tool. Tickets on sale tomorrow at 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster.com. Tool in concert.
Discover, this is Danny.
Hi, it's Jen Coolidge. I just want to thank you for making me feel so special. I earned cash back on debit for my dinner party groceries.
That's great. But with Discover Cashback Debit, we give everyone cash back on everyday purchases. Anything else I can help you with?
Are you hungry? 'Cause everyone left after the asparagus sorbet.
Introducing Discover Cashback Debit, a checking account with cash back. It pays to Discover. Eligibility and terms at discover.com/cashback debit. Discover Bank, member FDIC.
At Staples, you can count on every project being print perfect, guaranteed.
I need invitations and posters printed, and they have to be perfect.
I need beautifully bound booklets and presentations for my business.
Your invitations and booklets will be in captivating color and will be done right every time. That's Staples Print Big Promise. And right now at Staples, get $50 off your print purchase of $150 or more. Try Staples and see the difference. Ends 10/14. Exclusions apply. See associate or visit staples.com/print for details.
He breaks down every game.
The players are still going to be fine.
And knows the ins and outs of the two-tone blue.
They deal with their own position coaches.
He is ESPN NFL Nation Titans reporter Teron Davenport.
It's clear what he's doing.
TD joins every Monday at 1, Thursdays at 3, Friday mornings at 8, and anytime on the Talkin' with TD podcast.
I think that's really cool how he could show both sides.
TD is on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app. You're listening to Robby and Rexrode, presented by TJ Anderson Homes of Benchmark Realty on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app. Sometimes he wakes up on the wrong side of the bed. And sometimes he's just, well, Joe.
Awkward moment, let's do it.
This is the Rex Rant, now on Robby and Rexrode.
Oh, this is so frustrating.
He's kind of ugly, though.
It is that time of the day, time for the Rex Rant with Joe Rexrode. You can check it out every morning at 7:45 here on the program. Joe Rexrode's rant of the day. Little Ronnie Dunn in the background. I love this song. I can listen to Tennessee Oilers theme song all day.
Yeah, and got some Oilers helmets.
Yeah, they look good.
Yeah, I love that uni. Absolutely. Bring it back full time.
I agree.
So I guess I'll ask you, because I thought about pivoting just because Junie's here and he's still running this Tannehill crap. Like, I wasn't going to do this, but then it's like, do I need to just yell at Junie for this rant? He's sitting right here, and he's trying to run this, first of all, he's trying to change his story. He said that Tannehill shouldn't have started. Now he's still talking about how the other teams have, like, a head start, and, Tannehill and Cousins, and I don't know, all this stuff.
Well, I guess the Colts don't really have a head start much anymore, but yeah.
Well, I mean, Anthony Richardson has been playing. So, because I was going to yell again about Urban Meyer and update people on Urban Meyer and how I've angered many, many people.
I say you just get after Junie.
Just get after Junie?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's right here.
I'll mention both because, basically I've said my piece. Here's the thing. So, Junie, the question he asked was in relation to Kirk Cousins. So, of course, it's very Jared-like of Junie. He's like, well, Joe, if you don't, tell me then you're being a hypocrite. I'm not being a hypocrite. If the Titans are crap, they have a chance to trade Ryan Tannehill to the Falcons. I would also, if you can get something for him and you're punting in your season, great. But the Vikings are still in a much more punt on the season situation than the Titans are right now. Maybe it changes. If the Vikings lose to the Bears, they're going to lose to the Niners. They're going to be 1-6. Cousins is out of there. And I'm more like Cousins not being with the Vikings after the season to me was even more like of a kind of a lock than like Tannehill with the Titans. I think it's clear with both. I'm absolutely there with the Titans training Tannehill if they're bad. But what you don't seem to get, Junie, and you're welcome to chime in, is that the Titans, whatever you want to say about Tannehill starting, that's last offseason. So, that's fine. You can criticize Rand, Vrabel, whoever you want to for them still having Tannehill. But if you do have Tannehill, yes, you're trying to win this year, and yes, you have a much better chance of winning with Ryan Tannehill as your quarterback than anybody else. That's it.
Well, again, you brought up my argument in the offseason, and I, prefaced this to you and said that I would have moved off Tannehill, made him a post-June 1st cut, saved that money, used it to go out and actually get free agent offensive linemen to improve this offensive line. And with the weapons the Titans have, I feel like this offense could be a little bit more with some more protection, and that gives your young quarterback a better advantage at getting started. And with the argument that, the Colts and Texans are already getting a head start with their young quarterbacks, I mean, outside of the Richardson injury, that'll be to be determined whether or not he comes back or not. I mean, I flat out think that makes sense. And you did not.
We don't have a time machine. We don't have a DeLorean, Junie.
Well, again, but you also didn't mention that I said that the deficit that Kirk Cousins and the Vikings are in, they're also in the NFC, which is a much weaker conference. And so I think it's easier for them to kind of go and make some changes and get back into the mix, rather as if the Titans get into a hole, let's say 2-4 at the bye, if they come back and they lose to the Falcons here at home and they're at 2-5, then that's going to be much harder for them to dig out in a much more talented AFC than it would be for Kirk Cousins in the NFC.
That's fine. I mean, I think 1-6 is 1-6, right? I understand the Lions.
The Lions were 1-6 last year, and they came back and
they did not make the playoffs.
They were, they were very, very close.
They had a super exciting, historic night of beating the Packers and it meaning
we're not
nothing.
going to talk about that game.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, look, man, if the Titans are bad, I agree the AFC is better. And if the Titans can deal Tannehill, then do it. But right now, the Titans are 2-3 and have at this moment, a better chance of being competitive than the Vikings.
And again, my argument was never that, moving to a younger quarterback was going to make them a better team this year. Obviously, Tannehill playing this year in particular, being a veteran, playing in the NFL for over 10 years, clearly he's going to be the better option. But the thing that I was pointing out is for the long run, for the long haul. It would be better for the Titans in the future to go to their young quarterback, maybe not have as good of a season. But again, that's what the Houston Texans and the Colts are going to be. They're not going to be that good. They're going to get a decent high draft pick.
They didn't have a starter who was good.
What are you talking about? Davis Mills was down there in Houston. What are you talking about?
I mean, those teams are coming from the bottom with no other option.
He's sticking his neck out every week, and you just sleep right over it.
Thank you. Junie's changing his story, right? Come on. Junie's changing his story a little bit. I think he's changing his story. I think Junie said that Levis would be a better option than Tannehill.
I never said that.
I seem to recall something like that.
I think you're changing your story.
I always said in the long run it would be the better. I'll go find it. I'll go find it for you, Joe.
I will say.
Can we hire investigator Clouseau, Jared Stillman, and go through the even if it's not true and change it up, make it seem like it's true?
I will say I don't think the Vikings are out of it yet. They've got the Bears on Sunday. Now, granted, Justin Jefferson's going to be out the next 4 games at least. And there's some speculation now with Jefferson, too, because he didn't get the contract before the season, that he just might be done for the rest of this year until they figure out what they're doing. So I don't know what's going to happen with him. But they have the Bears, and then they have the Niners. After that, it's the Packers, who are not very good, the Falcons, who are the Saints, who are okay, and then the Broncos. That's your next 6 games.
Yeah,
they'll
be facing Kirk Cousins when they play the Falcons. That'll be great.
Maybe so. That is the first game after the trade deadline, which could set up to be amazing.
That would be incredible, would it not? My God, that would be amazing. Yeah, like you said, no Jefferson. I mean, I don't know about you. I know you're really down on your Packers right now, but I like the Packers to beat the Vikings without Jefferson.
They got a lot of work to do offensively.
I mean,
it's at Lambeau, yeah. Well,
yeah.
Look, I hope so, but they're not going to do that.
Regardless, Junie, I think that you changed your story a little bit. But look, the bottom line is, those teams are in different situations. The Titans are in a different situation. Right now, I would lean toward, based off the last performance, that at some point this year, Will Levis is probably going to get an opportunity because I think they'll be out of it. But I think it'll be a while. And it'll be probably past the trading deadline. But I will say, if they lose, I'm trying to think. The Falcons is right before the Falcons game is
right before the deadline.
Okay. Well, if they lose that game, then Arthur Smith may be shaking Vrabel's head and saying, "Send me Tannehill next week. Talk to you. Well, I'll talk to you Tuesday, buddy." I mean, it may be something like that. But short of that, they're going to keep plugging along, whether people like it or not.
Well, that's what makes this game Sunday so big. We've talked about getting to 3-3 by the bye week. If you drop to 2-4. Then you've got Atlanta, Pittsburgh, Tampa Bay, who Tampa Bay does not look like a pushover so far this year. I mean, I know it's Baker Mayfield, but They don't look like a pushover to this point. Jacksonville and then Carolina, your next 6 for the Titans, including the Ravens game on Sunday. Like it's really important to me that if the Titans are going to find a way to be in the playoff hunt at the end of the year, to me, you need to beat Baltimore on Sunday. 2-4 is not a disaster. You can do it from there, but I really think you need to be 3-3 heading into the back half of the schedule after that, with a schedule that on paper gets a little bit easier, but like this Titans team just doesn't have enough margin for error. I don't know that 2-4 they're going to be able to go on the necessary run with any sort of consistency to get their way in the playoffs after that.
Right. Now, then you're stacking losses.
Right.
John from Nashville backs me up and says Junie definitely said that. Thank you, John.
Oh.
That's enough evidence for me.
Oh, yes.
Junie's
looking for the tape right now.
Junie's not even listening.
He's
looking for the tape. Surfing the internet on his phone.
He's looking for the tape.
I'm going to go find it, and I will prove you wrong once again.
Well, you're going to go find when you tried to change your story before, which I heard before. That doesn't count.
Again, I will find it. I had never said that a rookie quarterback was going to be better than Ryan Tannehill. I said it will always be better for the future.
Okay.
615-737-1025, our phone number. Coming up next, we'll be joined by Charles Robinson from Yahoo Sports. We'll get into the Titans and all things NFL with him for the next 30 minutes. Looking forward to that. This is Robby and Rexrode, 102.5, 106.3, The Game.
All the big plays.
And we are done. Vandy 24-21.
All the big stories.
I'm sure Vandy will be a much better team if Clark Lee is the coach.
All in one place. We are Nashville's best sports talk. 102.5 and 106.3.
What a stop by UC Sarah.
Then he wouldn't end up on my team.
Driving his way to victory lane.
I think that's the right strategy.
The Game and the Game Nashville app.
ElectronicExpress.com. We make it happen.
Your chance to get that rare, hard-to-find luxury pre-owned Rolex timepiece is happening at Genesis Diamonds. Friday and Saturday, October 20th and 21st, Genesis is hosting an epic pre-owned luxury Rolex featuring a stunning new selection of these hard-to-find watches. Hulks, Submariners, Daytonas, Pepsis, Batmans, all the hottest models that people wait years for. For this event, you can choose from 5 years financing or get a free pair of 2-carat lab-grown diamond earrings valued at $5,000. Imagine a luxury pre-owned ladies Rolex Datejust for just $199 a month, or a Sea Dweller or Submariner for just $299 a month. No waiting list, no games, just the watch you want at the great Genesis value price you deserve. Also for this event, our pre-owned Rolex buyers will be offering top dollar for your Rolex, so you can buy, sell, or trade. Come see the largest selection of luxury pre-owned Rolex watches in the state. Get the timepiece of your dreams and take advantage of our special financing. Friday and Saturday, October 20th and 21st only, and only at Genesis Diamonds, your home for luxury pre-owned Rolexes. Green Hills and Cool Springs. On approved credit while supplies last. See store for details.
Hey home buyers, TJ Anderson here. Are you looking for a luxury home on over an acre, 7 bedrooms, 9 bathrooms, and close to 7,000 square feet? 6551 Brownlee Drive in Nashville's Westmead neighborhood offers that and a 4th car garage, all by an award-winning builder. Text the number 1 to 615-420-2377 for pricing and info. Want your home listing to be seen and heard by home buyers? Google TJ Anderson Homes and see why we are referred by clients so often. TJ Anderson Homes at Benchmark Realty, office number 615-432-2919.
Today's world is filled with many things that can push us to our limit. An upcoming move should not add to that list. Hey, it's Caroline Fenton. And when you choose Black Tie Moving like I did, you get a highly awarded Inc. 500 company. From the free estimate by a local professional moving consultant to the red carpet treatment, they take the stress out of the process. So visit blacktiemoving.com or call 615-437-8401. Mention GAME, G-A-M-E, to score 10% off your next move. Let Black Tie Moving make your next move the best move of your life.
Are you ready for the ultimate entertainment experience? Look no further than Big Play Hendersonville. Get ready to embark on an adventure like no other. Whether you're a kid or a kid at heart, Big Play Hendersonville has something for everyone. And right now, you can get half off a $50 gift card to check out all they have to offer, from bowling to laser tag, indoor go-karts, bumper cars, and more. They offer fantastic food options as well. Big Play isn't just a place, it's an experience. Get half off now at the Game Nashville.com/deals.
October 28th is Drug Take-Back Day. STARS, Nashville's regional overdose prevention specialists, have teamed up with Skyline Medical Hospital to help provide the community with an easy way to dispose of drugs. Don't take the chance of your unused or expired medication falling into the wrong hands. Join us October 28th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Skyline Medical Hospital at 3441 Dickerson Pike. We'll have a drive-through set up to collect your unused or expired medications for safe disposal. This project funded under a grant contract with the State of Tennessee Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services.
Now, your Game Center update.
This is Nick Keiser. The Nashville Predators are set to open play at Bridgestone Arena tonight, hosting the Seattle Kraken, and head coach Andrew Brunette joined Robby and Rexrode this morning discussing where the team is at, adjusting to his new system offensively.
I think we're worlds ahead of ourselves where we were after that first exhibition game to where we are now. And we'll just keep chipping away at it. The guys are eager. They want to play that style. They want to learn it. So when that happens, usually you get there a little faster than you think you do.
Meanwhile, over in the MLB, the Atlanta Braves are one game away from forcing a Game 5 against the Philadelphia Phillies after falling 10-2 last night. And stay tuned for Preds Pick to Click at 8:45. Correctly guess a goal score in tonight's contest, and you'll win some tickets to an upcoming home Preds game. You're listening to 102.5 and 106.3 The Game.
Live from the Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical Studios. WPRT FM Pegram, WPUC HD2 Laverne.
Ross Chastain will be first to finish in the Ally 500 at Nashville Super Speedway.
Nashville's exclusive home for NASCAR. 102.5 and 106.3.
Checkered flag is in the air. Man, this is a win in the cup race.
The Game.
A Cromwell media station.
Mixing sports and a little bit of fun.
This is fun.
On your morning drive. This is Robby and Rexrode. With Robby Stanley and Joe Rexrode. Presented by TJ Anderson Homes of Benchmark Realty. On Nashville's best sports talk. 102.5 and 106.3 The Game. And on the Game Nashville app.
Ladies and gentlemen,
it's showtime.
Final hour, Robby and Rexrode, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Robby Stanley, Joe Rexrode, Nick Keiser here with you on this Thursday morning, live from Pete and Terry's Tavern at Bridgestone Arena as the Predators prepare for their home opener tonight against the Seattle Kraken. Right now, talking Titans, all things NFL, and to help us do that, we go to our 102.5 The Game phone line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com, and welcome in our friend Charles Robinson from Yahoo Sports. Charles, good morning. How are you?
Doing well, gents. How you doing today?
We're doing great. Appreciate you taking time to be with us. Charles, the Titans traveling to London this weekend to take on Baltimore. When you watch the Ravens so far this year, what have been your impressions of what you've seen from them?
Well, offensively, I think not quite what we expected with the rebuild of the offense around Lamar Jackson. I still think they're off to maybe a slower start than they had anticipated. I think the running back depth, losing Dobbins the way that they did, I think has impacted them. I don't think there's any question about that. And, Odell Beckham Jr., I think that's another situation where you bring in a veteran and you really expect him to, I think they thought this is the DeAndre Hopkins, like what the Titans are actually getting out of Hopkins. I think they would have liked to have had Beckham have that kind of an impact, and it just really hasn't materialized to this point. Zay Flowers has been the rookie wideout has been impressive, but I think they're off to a start that is, I guess in their minds, even at 3-2, offensively a little subpar. So I think it'll be an interesting measuring stick for the Titans. I don't know quite, especially when teams go overseas like this. It's a weird game, It's tougher to call than usual because it's just not a normal environment. The trip is odd. You get odd results in situations like this. So I don't know. I don't know how to call this one between these two teams. I guess it depends, for the Titans, what defensive front shows up. Baltimore's still going to be a team that likes to run the football, and you obviously can't have a day like you did against the Colts. and what quarterback's going to show up, I think, for the Titans in the offensive line I don't think it's anything unusual in terms of what everybody has seen in terms of the strengths and weaknesses with the Titans. And, the Ravens are going to be a team that tries to run it, and they're going to try to knock Ryan Tannehill around. If they accomplish that, I mean, it's probably a Ravens edge in this one.
Well, don't get too down on the Titans. They just went against the next Le'Veon Bell and Zach Moss. So, I mean, it's a totally understandable outcome.
Yeah, that was a surprising outcome. I definitely did not see that coming. And then the Colts are like, yeah, let's give Jonathan Taylor all the money now.
That's a heck of a combo right there, Le'Veon Bell and Jonathan Taylor.
Absolutely.
So, Charles, I'm getting excited about the trading deadline, which never used to happen in the NFL, but in particular because I feel like hashtag free Kirk Cousins may come to reality. But so bear with me here, and I do think the Titans could potentially be in this too if they drop a couple more here. Atlanta Falcons. What about like Arthur Smith and the Falcons signing up for like getting Cousins? He waives a no trade. You get him like a 2-year extension, and he goes with a team that has a lot of other things that I think are in place and young and moving forward. I think they win that division going away if they have a guy like Cousins or maybe a guy like Tannehill. What do you think? Deep sigh.
Okay, let me ask you. Here's why. Why though? Why? What's in terms of? Give me the Falcons, like, why at this point? You think that there's no doubt Cousins is exponentially better than Ritter. Here's my problem.
What? Are you seriously asking? How much of a Cousins hater are you?
No, just give me a second here. Here's my issue. Number one, things that happen in the NFL typically have a template to them, right? And that is what you're describing is unprecedented. We've never seen solid top-end NFL quarterback, top 15, top, 12 in great times NFL quarterback dealt in the middle of a season in NFL history. It's just never happened. We saw Sam Bradford. We saw the Eagles trade him in the preseason when he was supposed to be their number one starter. Carson Wentz was a rookie at the time. At least there was some sort of there was some reasoning behind it, including, the Vikings had lost Teddy Bridgewater in a season where the coaching staff and front office believed we have to, stretch into the playoffs this year. We have to, give up a first-round pick to go get Bradford. But that was shocking at that time. In the middle of a season, the Vikings would basically be looking at the rest of the team and going, we're giving up. Like, it's over. We're not.
Caleb Williams.
We're not going to – yeah. Again, it goes over really well in the locker room amongst a lot of veterans who are trying to earn money, get free agent contracts. You can poison a program. Anybody you talk to in the NFL about something like this, they all shake their head because they're like, you can poison everything in your locker room with a situation like this because everybody knows what you've just done to them. And, you're not dealing with a longtime general manager there in Kwesi. You're not dealing with, it's not. Not only do you squander that, you squander anything else that you've probably earned with a lot of those veterans. So just in terms of the template, the Cousins deal, nothing like that's ever happened again. So that first and foremost makes me think like this is we're stretching to think that it could this time. Number two, if it does happen, most acquiring teams are sitting there. It's not a running back, okay? It's a position where when you have a quarterback, they know your offense. They've been in your passing program for an extended amount of time. They have chemistry with players. There's a multitude of different things that often happen to bring in a quarterback in a sort of shake and bake scenario. And typically it's when you want to bring in someone just to start in a pinch for a few games, not for the rest of the season. In the scenario that you're describing, and you're giving Kirk an extension, by the way, and all these other things on top of it. They just don't know him that well. Now, Tannehill, when you say Tannehill, that's different. You have a head coach there who has plenty of run with Ryan Tannehill. He knows him. There's a different representation in the building than I think ultimately you would have with a Kirk Cousins. So and the money's different, and it's just a whole different scenario. It just I don't know why the Falcons or any other team that doesn't have some steeped background with Kirk Cousins and everything in place to make the acquisition now and the need just goes out and gets a guy and hopes that, hey, we think he's good enough to come in here and click with our coach. We think he's good enough to come in here and function in our offense. If you told me San Francisco, let's say Brock Purdy, we've got, October 12th, October 31st is the end of the trade deadline, so we've got 19 days. So say Brock Purdy suffers some massive injury between now and then, and it's over. It's done for the season. He's definitely finished. Absolutely. Even with Sam Darnold in place, I could see Kyle Shanahan saying, let's go get Kirk right now for this run this year. We've got a Super Bowl team right now. There's no question. We just beat the brakes off the Cowboys, or, this is what our picture looks like. This is what the pieces around us look like. We're perfectly ready to go. I know that guy. He can come in and do what I want right now, and we can hit the ground running. That, to me, is a completely different situation. But that's also maybe the one place where that exists, and the need would also force the franchise to sit there and go, we absolutely have to go and get the guy.
We'll have more with Charles Robinson from Yahoo Sports coming up next. You're listening to Robby and Rexrode, 102.5, 106.3, The Game.
Vanderbilt football lives here.
This Saturday, it's Vanderbilt and Georgia from First Bank Stadium. Kickoff at 11 a.m. Coverage starts at 9:30.
Your home for the Commodores is 102.5 and 106.3, The Game, and the Game Nashville app.
Lee Company is the trusted expert for heating, air conditioning, plumbing, electrical, and general maintenance for facilities throughout Kentucky and Tennessee. Our technology and expertise guides facility owners and managers to smart decisions. When you need a reliable partner to keep your facility profitable and running 24/7, we hope you'll think of us. Visit LeeCompany.com to learn more. That's LeeCompany.com. Lee Company, all you need.
It's time to celebrate this fall and unleash the beast. Monster Brewing proudly presents to you Beast Unleashed. 0 caffeine, 0 sugar, all the adult beverage fun. The Beast is unleashed with great taste, bold familiar flavors, and 6% alcohol. Go wild with Mean Green, White Haze, Peach Perfect, and Scary Berries. Don't fear the Beast. Enjoy Beast Unleashed at your next tailgate or football party. Drink responsibly. Must be 21 and over.
Actor Portrayal, based on a real patient experience.
I'm Mike. I'm a husband, proud father of 2, work my butt off 6 days a week, some nights too. When my family or my company needs me to make it happen, I make it happen. But a few months ago, I started having trouble making it happen, in the bedroom. I tried some pills online, but they didn't work. Honestly, I thought about throwing in the towel on my sex life, but I'm not that old. I still want to enjoy intimacy with my wife. Like that poet said, I don't want to just go gently into that good night. So I went to the Tennessee Men's Clinic in Franklin. Got some lab work done, was prescribed some meds, and wow, it made it happen. I can't say enough about them. Their providers took care of me, followed up, and made sure I had a treatment plan that actually works. It's awesome. If I were you, and you're like me, I'd give them a call today, 615-208-9090, or go to TennesseeMen'sClinic.com. If you're like most guys, they'll make it happen for you too.
Visit our website to learn more, including side effects, treatments extra, results vary.
Art, sound, and sensory overload. Tool 2024 North American Tour. January 23rd, Bridgestone Arena. With special guest, Elder. Experience the sound and vision of Tool. Tickets on sale tomorrow at 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster.com. Tool in concert.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger. Because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Exergen thermometers are proven to be more accurate than non-contact thermometers. With children back at school, keeping them healthy is important. Clinical studies have proven that non-contact thermometers are inaccurate and can miss fevers. Accuracy matters. That's why the Exergen thermometer is trusted and used by medical professionals. Exergen thermometers are available at many fine retailers. Choose a trusted and accurate thermometer for personal use. Learn more about why accuracy matters. Available at Walgreens and participating retailers. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Anyone want to tell me what happened? Did you miss any of today's show?
It's okay. It's fine. Don't worry.
Subscribe to the Robby and Rexrode podcast on Apple, Spotify, and other podcast platforms, or by going to theGameNashville.com.
All right, I'll give it a shot.
Good morning. You're locked into Robby and Rexrode, presented by TJ Anderson Homes of Benchmark Realty.
I have the radio on. I'm listening to
102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Welcome back in, Robby and Rexrode, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. We continue our conversation with Charles Robinson from Yahoo Sports. Charles, you were in attendance for the Niners-Cowboys game last week. Is it Niners and everybody else in the league right now? Is Philadelphia right there with them? Buffalo, Kansas City, whatever team you want to throw in there from the AFC? Or is this San Francisco and everybody else is right there below them right now, in your opinion? How do you view the 49ers and the destruction of the Cowboys the other night?
I don't think you can discount Philadelphia. Detroit really should. They're 4-1. Detroit should be 5-0 right now. If you watch,
you got hot takes today. You got some hot takes today.
Joe refuses to admit they're good. They're a good football team.
Cousins stinks. The Lions are amazing.
I do think the Lions are a very good team. I don't know. I wouldn't put them on the level of San Francisco and Philadelphia just yet. The thing about San Francisco when being at that game against Dallas is it just, especially when you watch the first two scores, just how the offense functioned. Like, you'd never seen Dallas's defense look like that. Like, they didn't look anything like what their best representation had been going into that game. They couldn't get pressure. The secondary was making a massive amount of mistakes. Pretty much San Francisco could do whatever they wanted. And, Purdy, to me, he looks like he's reached a level with Kyle Shanahan where if he's protected, he can have near flawless games. And even Shannon said afterward, he had to hold himself back from continuing to call pass after pass because he's like, we have to run a balanced offense here, but he's playing so well that he finds himself wanting to just throw the ball every single down. They're healthy. It's such a complete team, but I do want to see what they look like when they run up against, the Eagles or the Dolphins or, one of the other teams that we know is looking elite in the first quarter of the season. And I want to see how they deal with adversity in a game, get deep into a hole and have to fight their way out of it. Can they do that? But just top to bottom, the roster's just, it's insane. The offense is as loaded as it can be. Defensively, they're complete at every single level. I could see them potentially even adding a piece, at the trade deadline if they feel like they just need depth somewhere. And again, they're healthy. That though, also the flip side of it is it feels due. Something's going to happen here, and you haven't seen that offense with Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, Christian McCaffrey. Like, all those guys have had injuries at some point, and you're kind of like, is that going to happen? How long before somebody has to go on IR, and then what does the team do or look like in response? But yeah, they're hitting on everything right now, and it feels like a perfectly built situation. And people got to get over this whole thing with Purdy being the last pick in the draft. Like, he's not that guy anymore. He's just not. And when I went through there, and I remember last year in the playoffs talking to people in the building just about how Kyle had such a ridiculous amount of faith in him. And, you started to hear stories about how, like, even internally, they saw things with Purdy that were so unusual. Like, one of the first people inside that building who basically started to talk to the staff about, like, hey, this guy's a baller, was like Fred Warner. And the coaching staff, like, when that guy, of all the guys, who comes to you and says, hey, you got something here, your ears perk up because, players are great scouts for you internally. Players are great scouts on the field, and they know when, particularly at quarterback, when someone just has something to them. Then it was Trent Williams, and it was like all these veterans who they count on being cornerstone leaders were like, there's something different about this kid. This isn't normal, and he's leading in a way that is real. He's an MVP candidate. Like, if this keeps up, he really should realistically be in that MVP conversation. I know he's leading right now when you kind of look at the Vegas stuff, but we'll see if he can sustain that clip all year long. But he's not that last pick anymore. People, they got to move off the whole Mr. Irrelevant thing. He's a high-end starting caliber quarterback. And Peter King pointed out this thing I couldn't even believe, where he mentioned the Ringer had like quarterback rankings like recently, and they ranked Purdy 25th in the league. And I was just like, oh my God, like, that's just like, if that really is your opinion of this guy at this point, you haven't paid any attention to what he's really doing.
I don't know, man. I heard Dan Orlovsky say, you just put Mac Jones in there, you get the same quarterback. So I just
was that Orlovsky or was that Rex Ryan?
No, it was Orlovsky, right?
Was it really?
I'm quite
I thought
sure.
It was Rex Ryan.
I thought Rex Ryan was yelling at him. I think Rex Ryan was yelling at him about it.
Wow. Yeah.
So
that surprised me.
Yeah, that's wild. So let's flip it around.
I don't agree with that.
Well, so let's go to Mac Jones and company. It's interesting. You just mentioned, Charles, the Niners obviously incredibly built team. I don't know how you view, because obviously John Lynch, the GM, but that Kyle. Right, I mean, Kyle, whatever, his final say. I mean, I assume you give him a lot of credit for the roster.
Yeah.
So how much is Bill Belichick's issue right now, which appears to be growing, just straight up that he's a terrible GM?
I mean, all of it, don't you think? I mean, Bill Belichick, the GM, is totally going to get Bill Belichick, the coach, fired. I mean, there's no situation in the league where someone said to me, I wrote this piece about Belichick and how Kraft is in this like position where there's not really a great ownership template for having to move on from an icon. Like, we've basically had it 3 times with Tom Landry, Chuck Noll, and Don Shula. And in one situation, Jerry buys the team, he unceremoniously fires Tom Landry and then regrets it for all these years afterward. Chuck Noll and Don Shula are both basically forced out by ownership via, hey, they wanted staff changes. The coaches weren't going to do that, so they just retired rather than have to make changes to the staff. So they were both forced out situations. Bill's an even different, a more complicated scenario because he's accomplished more. He's reshaped the league. Like, there's all kinds of different things that are involved here. And someone said to me after I wrote the piece, they called me and they're like, man, it's a good piece. They're like, but you kind of missed one overarching thing that people don't realize about this with Belichick. He's like, he hired almost everybody there. He's like, the whole building almost in terms of the football operation is Bill's. And he's like, so if you get rid of Bill, everybody there was a Bill guy. Like, everybody in place. It's all, every single layer there is just jammed with basically Bill hires or hires that were made, from a lieutenant, that signed off on it, that is Bill's guy. So it's, I think every bit of failure there, just as much as most of the success belonged to him and Brady, I absolutely think every bit of the failure belongs to Bill. And the roster's atrocious. I mean, top to bottom, it's poor. And the quarterback situation is as jacked up as it could possibly be, and I still think a lot of that has to do with what happened last year with Matt Patricia. I don't know if they have a quarterback there, which to me means if you don't have a quarterback and the roster's in the state that it's in, you're probably looking at a rebuild. And what's really kind of significant about all this is we're going into an NFL draft next year where there's going to be a multitude of quarterbacks available, high-level guys in the first round. They're poor enough that they could be in position to really get one of probably the big 2 between Caleb Williams and Drake May, and you have a ton of cap space to work with. So you do have a position sort of for a reboot. Do you let Bill do that? Like where we're at now? Because the non-Tom Brady Bill in New England looks like the Cleveland Bill. And everybody always wants to rewrite history and go, well, he got Cleveland turned around. They were going to the playoffs that year when Cleveland, all of a sudden they're moving to Baltimore and that destroys everything. Yeah, you're assuming a lot that they were going to go on this playoff run and everything was going to turn in the right direction. Like that, you don't know that was going to happen ultimately in Cleveland or not. All I know is the guy's got a sub 500 record without Tom Brady, and every assistant coach who left, New England in the Brady area, who we ripped on because we're like, oh, they left Brady and Bill. Maybe they just left Brady because right now Bill without Brady looks a lot like those assistants who left.
Charles Robinson, our guest on Robby and Rexrode, joins us every Thursday morning from 8 to 8:30. Charles, great stuff as always, man. Appreciate you taking time to be with us, and we'll talk to you next week.
Absolutely. I'm sorry, Joe, that I tore up your Kirk Cousins to Atlanta. I hope he gets dealt there
that's
now.
Fine.
So you can. I hope he gets dealt there so you can break dance on me in a future show.
I just wish Joe
would actually admit that the Lions are a good football team this year. He
They're
refuses
fine.
to do so.
They're okay. I mean, come on. But I just hope that someday Kirk Cousins can live up to Baby Hands, your MVP of the league.
Oh, come on, Baby Hands, short arms, right? That's what.
Yeah.
Baby Hands, short arms is Brock
That's
Purdy's secret code name. All right, guys.
Thank you, Charles.
Yeah.
Charles Robinson from Yahoo Sports, our guest. We got a lot to react to from what Charles had to say there. We'll take your thoughts on that. 615-737-1025 is our phone number. 615-737-1025. You're listening to Robby and Rexrode, 102.5-106.3 The Game.
It's the final week of the Electronic Express 40th anniversary sale. Visit any of our convenient locations and save up to 40% throughout the entire store. This week, get a TCL 55-inch 4K TV for only $269, or a stainless steel refrigerator only $499. Plus, get up to 60 months special financing on items like a top-load laundry pair, only $349 each, or an HP touchscreen laptop just $699. Sale ends Saturday. Electronic Express. We make it happen.
Get ready to elevate your game day experience. Titans fans, it's all happening at Mimo Bar on Titans Terrace. Just a short walk from the bridge at First and Demumbrian. They've got your epic pregame and postgame covered. With their Italian classics and sensational cocktails, your senses will be on a joyride. And hey, listen to this. Everyone at the Titans Terrace gets a chance to bag a Gibson Guitars merch bundle, a $100 Mimo postgame gift card, or a weekend brunch for two. So why wait? Mimo Bar, where Nashville's heritage meets Italian flavor.
This year, Boys and Girls Club of Middle Tennessee celebrates its 120th anniversary. Through time, BGCMT continues to evolve to enable all young people, especially those who need us most, to reach their full potential as productive, caring, and responsible leaders. Because of your continued support, BGCMT has remained strong and is committed to supporting our youth and solidifying our mission and culture in new exciting ways for 120 years. Visit bgcmt.org today.
Let's see. That one. Wait, I didn't see this one.
We apologize. When you have as many microbrews on tap as we do, we know it can be hard to make a decision. Don't worry, we're patient.
Wow, let me see here.
Bar lines at the Omni Nashville Hotel. Incredible apps and salads, delectable burgers and wraps featuring local Tennessee whiskey and local brews on tap and live music 7 days a week. The decision is obvious. Bar lines at the Omni Nashville Hotel.
It's Wrangler season out there. T-shirt days, denim jacket nights. A pair of broken-in jeans you could live in. Open roads, endless horizons, no destinations. This is when adventure starts calling. And you need to be ready in jeans that are made for the unpredictable journey that we call life. Wrangler, for the ride of life. Shop our newest styles today at Wrangler.com.
Hey, you. The one on the couch who just told your friend you can't go out because you're busy? Ready to get real about your psoriasis? When your current treatments don't do enough to help control the inflammation beneath the skin, causing plaques and pain, stressing and scratching, it's time to stop hiding and get real with your dermatologist so they can help you get clear. Get real clear about psoriasis at letsgetrealclear.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
They're homegrown in Nashville, discussing the biggest topics in the SEC.
The fans are going to want the rivalries to stick around. They've lost to Alabama every year.
The NFL.
What if all the top 3 quarterbacks went 1, 2, 3? You've got to draft your guy at 2.
And anything in between.
From thinking we know everything to then forgetting about everything we thought we knew the day before.
They're Jonathan Hutton and Chad Withrow on Outkick's Hot Mic.
Out of the gates, ready to go.
Weekdays from 2 to 5 on 94.9 The Fan and The Fan app.
Hey, Nashville, this is Paul Feinbaum, and you're listening to Nashville's best sports talk, ESPN 102.5 The Game.
Make your silly underdog picks today for your chance to win weekly prizes. You can play at thegamenashville.com or the 102.5 The Game app as we approach Week 7 of college football, Week 6 of the NFL. Silly underdog picks presented by Volunteer Hose and Gasket. Welcome back in, Robby and Rexrode, 102.5, 106.3 The Game, presented by TJ Anderson Homes of Benchmark Realty. Call TJ's team today to see why they are referred to so often. Robbie Stanley, Joe Rexrode, Nick Keyser live from our 102.5 The Game studios. Brought to you by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. We are live here today at Pete and Terry's Tavern at Bridgestone Arena. Predators taking on the Kraken tonight in their home opener. We'll have Preds Pick to Click coming up here in just a few minutes. Thanks to Charles Robinson for being with us,
I guess,
in the last segment.
He's wrong.
On which part, the Lions or Kirk Cousins?
Well, the fact that both. The fact that he even started to say, and then the Detroit, come on. First of all, I think there's a gap between the Niners and the Eagles, but we'll see. Not a big one, little one. There is a big gap between those two teams and any other. The freaking Lions. Come on, dude.
I think they're the third best team in the NFC.
Okay, maybe they are. Gap, though. Maybe they are the third best team, even though Seattle went into their place and won. But maybe. We'll see. But I will say, Jared from Spring Hill, whose roster would you rather have, Detroit or Tennessee? Yeah, I mean, Detroit has a better roster. Detroit has a better roster than the Titans.
Especially if you're getting Detroit version of Josh Reynolds, which continues to make play after play, week after week.
Josh Reynolds and Cleve Raymond,
and I'm just
man.
like, good Lord, where was that during the Titans time?
No, he looks really good, no doubt. Junie, I know, has been over here editing audio to make it sound like he didn't say that Will Levis should be the starter. I want to read this Jared Stillman text to Junie. He says, why do we just assume a QB playing as a rookie is good for that rookie? Some rookies get absolutely ruined by playing early, especially the ones with bad O-lines and no wide receivers. Mahomes sat, Rodgers sat, Brady sat. Did Mitch Trubisky get an edge on Patrick Mahomes? Ooh. I guess he did that year. Mahomes is sitting in it like, Mitch is out here already. Here we go, baby. Let's get Mitch started. I think Jared kind of dunked on you. I'm teaming up with Jared against Junie.
How does that make you feel?
We just asked you how.
No,
I didn't know you.
I didn't. Rexrode, how that makes you feel?
I was about to say.
I thought you were asking Junie how it makes him feel.
He wasn't talking to me.
It makes me feel kind of dirty.
Okay, then. I'm glad we got that settled out there then. I got another text that says, Belichick's son cracks me up as DC. Remember when he was whacking out on the sideline calling plays a few years ago?
Yeah, they got some weird stuff going on out there.
Belichick's son, like with the hair.
Yeah, I mean, I like the hair.
The hair's
Don't
good.
Don't get me wrong. The mullet's good.
The intense stare out there.
I tell you, man, it is like it truly is. It's kind of sad because it's going to be like I think history is going to be unfair to Belichick a little bit because he deserves a ton of credit for a lot of things that went on there. It wasn't just riding Brady's coattails, but this is the issue with like. Again, I think Kyle Shanahan must have an incredible feel for picking play, right? Like Kyle Shanahan is very – and I give John Lynch gets credit, all that stuff. Of course, those guys do so much of the legwork, but Kyle Shanahan obviously has a feel, right? Bill Belichick obviously doesn't. I mean, I didn't even realize how bad it was. There's some people who've kind of been breaking down their recent drafts and roster and everything. It's like, I mean, they've been awful. Like, as much as we sit here in Nashville and complain about the Titans and their picks in recent years and the end of the John Robinson, all that, go look at what Belichick has been doing.
I know.
It's bad, and it is. It's going to hurt his legacy. It's going to cost him his job probably. I mean, I could see a thing where maybe it's like Belichick decides to step down, whatever. But it's kind of clear where it's headed. And I actually feel bad for him in a way because he deserves more credit than I think he's going to get from a lot of people.
I'm not sure that he does.
Yeah?
I think it's becoming clearer and clearer that most of it was Brady. Like, not saying Belichick's not a good coach, because he is. But, I mean,
those
Brady,
early teams, though, like the Vrabel teams, I mean.
I hear you.
And I'm not trying to hate on Brady,
I know.
but it was a much more balanced situation.
It was, but Brady was still great. Like, he made big plays at big times.
Look, I mean, there aren't many coaches that, like, go through any – I mean, tell me the great coach, all-time great coach who had crappy QBs.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, I know.
I mean, they all had – now, like, I give Bill Walsh – I think Bill Walsh helped make Montana great. Now, he also then had Steve Young.
Steve Young, yes.
And then Seifert. Well, actually, you know what? Actually, I think Seifert had taken over before, right? Before Steve Young, and I think so. So, anyway. But for the most part, yeah. The great coaches have players.
Well, and on the Patriots front, like it feels like based on the reading I'm doing, like, and we've talked with Charles about this before too. The Robert Kraft part of this, the frustration that started to boil over, feels like it has gone back to the decision to let Brady go. And I don't know what all into that. I don't know if Belichick walked into Kraft's office one day and was like, "Hey, like this guy." He's reaching the end here, and we got to start to come up with a plan to move on here. But whatever happened, Brady leaves. He immediately wins a Super Bowl with Tampa Bay, and the Patriots have been just trash ever since then. And it feels like that has started to, even before this season, like heading into this year, boiled over with Robert Kraft, and now that they're as bad as they are, like it's hard not to think this is going to be Belichick's last year in New England.
You know, another thing, like Charles said, you had the Matt Patricia, just – ridiculously weird situation, and what are you doing last year, Belichick? It's like, I know these guys, and they're my friends, and I know that they're D and special teams guys, but let's just sort of do a weird co-OC thing where we don't say who does what, and they were awful, right?
Yeah.
But I actually thought that Bill O'Brien would make a big difference this year. Bill O'Brien is a good coach. He's a very good head coach with Houston. He's been Bill O'Brien and the job he did at Penn State. I know it's a college game presented, but like Bill O'Brien, to me, as a coach on the field or as a coordinator or coach and I know some Bama fans would maybe argue, I guess.
Not a good general manager, good coach.
Yeah. Right. But it hasn't mattered. So I don't know. I think what Orlovsky said is just absolutely asinine. Sitting here defending, like you're saying, Mac Jones is going to be. It's total disrespect for Brock Purdy. But I don't know. Is it that Mac Jones is really the issue? They just made a bad choice there, or had they just conspired unintentionally to ruin him?
Well, it'd be great if Mac Jones would stop, tripping people on the ground and hitting them in the groin and all that stuff. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
He'd stop doing that eventually.
Yeah, that's not cool. But see, if he was good, then we just say, hey, fire him. He's just a winner.
Let's go to our 102.5 The Game phone line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com, and welcome in Adam in Portland. Adam, good morning. Thanks for calling in.
Hey, man. Hey, Joe, I got a bone to pick with you, dude.
Oh, here we go.
Well, all right, so check that. Hey, let me preface this by saying, I'm a Joe guy. I'm a huge fan of y'all's. I like both of you. This is the only show that I even listen to anymore. I think y'all are the best.
With all due respect.
But, dude, listen to this.
No offense, but.
No offense. I'm not going to call your baby ugly or anything, man, but I'm sitting here going, you know what? Every time I talk to you, I feel like you say something that's like purposely trying to get under my skin, and it leaves me hanging and makes me like walk away going, you know what? I got to cuss this dude out one day. But this is it. So yesterday you said to me, you're like, hey, I think, because I said to you, I'm like, hey, I wouldn't mind seeing a rookie in there, like a rookie come in and actually try to spark a flame in this freaking city, because I don't think anybody is feeling Titans football right now. Nobody has confidence in that, and you're like, oh, so you want to lose, which is a very Jared Stillman thing to say, by the way. I don't know if you know that.
Junie liked that one.
So I want you to know that, like, that's who I think of when you say stuff like that. This is what I think of, man. Y'all just interviewed the Preds guy earlier, too. The way the Preds did it, the Titans should learn so much from them. Because, and I don't want to get down a rabbit hole with this, but I'm just saying nobody wants to tear up 2017 championship team, but it's necessary. Like, it's necessary to eventually be able to get good again. If you sit at like 7 wins as the Titans, you will never be able to get good players. So, yeah, try it, man. Maybe it does. Maybe it's a Ben Roethlisberger sitting on the bench. Maybe he's going to come in and win 15 games. I don't know. But I'm saying you can't just leave your fan base who you're trying to, like, rev up and ramp up and get ready to go buy season tickets that are way more expensive, by the way. Like, I already started talking to people about this. Way more expensive because it's less seats. So you want to sell these seats, man, like, you got to start giving them something to look forward to. Like, this is, I don't know. I'm looking for the future here, man. And it could be a present thing, too. But I think for you to say, so you just want to lose, like, that's cop-out, dude. Super cop-out.
You know, I really thought Adam was actually going to, just call me an idiot and hang up on me. I don't think you really got after me that much. Okay, but I hear you, so I'll flesh it out. Maybe I should have fleshed that out. Look, I'm just saying, like, right now, the Titans are obviously do everything they can. This season, like it or not, is about winning. I mean, again, this is kind of like these are off-season conversations, and basically they told you what they're going to do, right? I mean, okay, fine. Maybe you have 15 wins, maybe. I think in some cases, like, you kind of do still trust the coaches who are there every day with the players and know the differences. And not to mention that anybody who's at camp, there's a big gap between Tannehill and both those guys. There is, okay? And I understand that, like, camp lies, but also Tannehill does have a track record. Some people hate him, think he's terrible. I think those people are wrong. If you put in a new quarterback right now, you have a less chance to win week after week after week. And right now, the Titans are all in. Look, if you're Mike Vrabel, who, by the way, is a terrible coach, you'd be fired right away.
Yes, thank
no,
you.
But if you're Mike Vrabel, I mean, seriously, like, you comfortable? Nah, let's put in the rookie and let's just see what we got right now. No, like, if you're Mike Vrabel, your owner just fired your GM last year in the middle of the season. You're wanting to win. And I'm sorry, I don't think it's a Jared or ridiculous thing to say that Ryan Tannehill is your best chance to win. I think anybody who would argue otherwise, Junie, what's that look, Junie? You disagree.
Well, look at Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow lost in his rookie year, and then guess what? The next year he got Jamar Chase, and he's in the Super Bowl. And I'm not sitting here saying –
You keep coming up with these examples of teams that don't have a quarterback. They didn't have a quarterback.
It doesn't. Okay, well, when the Titans win 7 or 8 games and they either miss the playoffs or if they somehow miraculously get in the playoffs and they're one and done, it's a waste. I mean, it's pretty much a wasted season. And again, you're talking about Vrabel.
Will you jump in on this, please?
Ownership chose who they wanted to choose. They fired Robinson. Obviously, they're committed to Vrabel in the long term. They shouldn't. And again, keeping the core isn't progressing the team.
I don't think that's obvious. If they keep losing, they will fire Vrabel. Like, they're not committed to Vrabel.
I don't think that's a this-year conversation. Again,
I think we should not speculate on what Amy Armstrong is going to do after what she did last year.
If they move into the future and it's still not working out with the decisions that are being made since Robinson has been gone, then you can put the blame on Vrabel. But the blame has already been put on John Robinson. If you go with the young core and it doesn't work out, then that's on Vrabel. Right now, they're committed to Vrabel, and he's not going to be on the hot seat after this year.
Okay, and if you're Mike Vrabel, you want to win, you play who at quarterback?
Right now? I mean, again, it's either do you want to win this year with an aging core or do you want to move on to the future?
Team. This is your team that you are with every day. Like, we're trying to win this week. Who's your quarterback?
It's Ryan Tannehill.
Ryan Tannehill.
Come on. Yeah. Hey, come on.
Then have fun with 7 or 8 wins this year.
Okay, maybe.
Have fun.
But fine. You may be right, but this is what the course they chose, and so there's no decision now.
Also, what's wrong with 7 8? Like, it's not like they're drafting a quarterback next year. Will Levis is the quarterback of the future. It's not like they're going and searching for Caleb Williams after this year. What's wrong with 7 or 8 wins? Like, you're trying to win as many games as you could possibly win this year. They've already made the move for the quarterback of the future. Doesn't mean he has to play right now.
Well, it still could be a better weapon. I mean, if you're in the top 10 conversation, that's a marquee offensive lineman. That's a wide receiver that can be a game changer for the future. I mean, this is a really good draft, and the closer you are to the top of the draft, the better of a player you're going to get for the future. So, again, teams make this decision every year to look towards the future, and I think that the Titans are past – going forward in their championship window. It's over.
I think what Charles said earlier is something, even though I gave him a lot of crap, it's a very good thing to keep in mind. These guys in this room who are, by the way, they're already all banged the hell up week after week. Like, you're going to try to tell them, oh, you get a little bit better draft pick, you lose a few more games. They're going to punch you in the face. It's absolutely a non-starter in this league. You love the NFL. You know the NFL. It doesn't happen. Teams don't do this. Coaches, players, they don't do it. An owner might be like, hey, I slip you a few extra bucks to tank. But, like, the people who are going to battle every week in this league, they would rather – eat a toenail than do this. So, it's just such a, totally detached from reality conversation to talk about tanking or any of that crap.
Coming up next, it's time for Pred's Pick to Click. Be the first caller. 615-737-1025 is our phone number. If you guess a goal scorer for the Predators tonight, you want a pair of tickets to a future Preds home game. We'll do that next. This is Robby and Rexrode, 102.5-106.3 The Game.
Family Leisure invites you to relax at home this fall with all our indoor products on sale now.
Family Leisure has theater seating, massage chairs, pool tables, shuffleboard tables, and game tables in stock and ready for immediate delivery.
Enjoy the movie theater experience in the safety and comfort of your own home with theater seating from Family Leisure. 3-piece sets start at only $9.99. Massage chairs are only $14.99 as well.
Well, I want to redo our game room with a pool table for me and an air hockey and foosball table for the kids, maybe even a ping pong table.
Family Leisure has 30 pool tables on display, hundreds in stock for immediate delivery. Pool tables start at $14.99 installed.
And don't forget the shovelboard tables, a game everyone can play.
Family Leisure has above ground pools in stock and ready for immediate installation.
And there's great sale prices on outdoor and wicker furniture. Huge selection still in stock. That's Family Leisure's Relax at Home sale.
At both huge locations, Antioch and Franklin.
We're losing too many of our friends, neighbors, and loved ones to fentanyl poisoning. Nearly 75% of overdose deaths in Nashville involve fentanyl, but you can save a life with training and naloxone. STARS, Nashville's regional overdose prevention specialists, are here to teach you how to recognize and respond to an overdose and how you can save a life. Call 615-393-6980 or visit starsnashville.org. This project is funded under a grant contract with the State of Tennessee Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who specialize in saving the day and for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders, all backed by real people ready to help. So you can get the right answers and products right when you need them. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
A lot of Kanoe's energy started to bounce back.
She has a lot of puppy moments, and she'll be 14 this summer.
What did these dog parents do for their dogs? They switched to Nature's Blend, a premium freeze-dried raw dog food made by Dr. Marty Goldstein, a veterinarian Forbes magazine called the Miracle Worker. It's the easiest way to support your dog's easy digestion, nourished skin, playful energy, and most importantly, their healthy, full life.
I'm so confident your dog will love it. Your order is back with a 90-day guarantee.
Save up to 54% off Nature's Blend and get a free full-size bag of Tilly's Treasures dog treats. They're best-selling beef liver dog treats while supplies last. Go to drmartypets.com/tasty or text TASTY to 511-511. Go to drmartypets.com/tasty or shop in over 2,000 stores nationwide. Use the store locator to find the store closest to you. All pets are unique. Your pet's results can and will vary. Message and data rates may apply. Studies available upon request.
Score all the action this football season with great deals from Vivid Seats. From college games to NFL, there's nothing like seeing every block, blitz, and big play of your favorite team live. Vivid Seats celebrates fandom with unbeatable rewards like free tickets, surprise seat upgrades, and annual birthday deals. With Vivid Seats rewards, you earn rewards with every purchase. From first down to final whistle, Vivid Seats has a great selection for all the 2023 games that matter to you. Just visit vividseats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
You're locked into Robby and Rexrode.
Every morning, first thing.
Presented by TJ Anderson Homes of Benchmark Realty on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app. It's time for Preds Picks to click.
And a shot at the score.
Do you think you know who will score a goal in tonight's Predators game?
Little give and go.
Shoot your shot for a chance to win Preds tickets. Call 615-737-1025 now. Pick to Click is brought to you by TJ Anderson Homes of Benchmark Realty. Visit tjandersonhomes.com to see why they are preferred so often. It's Pick to Click, now on Robby and Rexrode.
It is that time of the day here on Robby and Rexrode. Time for Preds Pick to Click. Preds home opener tonight here at Bridgestone Arena, taking on the Seattle Kraken. Puck drop 7 o'clock. Pregame 6 o'clock here on 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Pick to Click presented by TJ Anderson Homes of Benchmark Realty. List your home with TJ to get your home seen, heard, and sold. A standings update in the competition. Everybody on the board except me in Game 1. Callers on the board. Joe Rexrode on the board. Nick Keyser on the board. All at one correct answer apiece. I am at 0 with Philip Forsberg not scoring for me last week, so keeping
Weak.
that in mind. Let's go to our 102.5 The Game
Enjoy
phone
last
line,
place.
driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. And welcome in Caleb. Caleb, good morning. Who is your pick to click tonight for the Predators?
Hey, what's up, guys? So tonight, Forsberg is going to score for me, unlike he did for you, Robbie. So
I would say there's probably a decent chance.
On the power play. And, Joe, you and Junie got into it, but you're right. I'm sorry, Junie.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Caleb. We appreciate it.
See you guys.
Junie, did you hear that, Junie? Huh?
I heard that, Caleb. Enjoy 7 or 8 wins and missing the playoffs.
Caleb going with Philip Forsberg in the competition. Joe Rexrode, you're up first today in Pred's pick to click. Let the record show. Forsberg off the board. Your pick to click for the Predators.
You know, I went Parson the other day, right?
You did?
I think you got to keep going with something that works. I like that line.
Okay.
And I think he's going to get another one tonight.
So going with Juuso Parssinen. Forsberg, Parssinen off the board. Nick Keiser, your pick to click for the Nashville Predators.
I tell you what, this might throw some people off, but I think he can get it done tonight, possibly. Give me Tyson Barrie. I think he will fire one from the point tonight, whether it's redirected or not. I hope it's not. But if he gets credit for it, great. I think he's going to get one, though.
So going with Tyson Barrie. So Forsberg, Parssinen, Barrie off the board. I'm going to take an early season. Oh, wild card is the right word, but I'm taking a little bit of a shot.
Cole Smith.
Philip
Do it.
Tomasino.
Do it.
I'm going the kid. Tomasino tonight gets on the board. I think he gets a breakaway and he finishes one off. So I will go Tomasino. Picks to click. Philip Forsberg from Caleb, our listener today. Joe going Juuso Parssinen. Nick with Tyson Barrie. And I'm going with Philip Tomasino tonight in Pick to Click, presented by TJ Anderson Homes of Benchmark Realty. List your home with TJ to get your home seen, heard, and sold. Joe, your thoughts on the game tonight? We had Andrew Burnett on earlier. I'm interested to see if the lineup is the same. I assume it will be mostly the same tonight for the Predators as they take on the Kraken. But anytime you're at home, especially the home opener, there'll be a lot of good energy in the building tonight. It would be nice to see the Predators come out with a win tonight in a 5-game stretch to open up the season. That's really tough, really good quality of opponents that they're going to be playing.
Yeah, it's you got that excitement of the just the home opener. You got some momentum, I think, from the last 2 periods of hockey you've played, 2/3 of the season for you, by the way.
Yep.
You got the gold carpet today. The gold carpet.
You do have that.
Okay, let's not forget that. That's a big part of today. It's exciting. I mean, look, I sense, just like today, the Andrew Burnett conversation and just the general.
A lot of positive feedback.
Yeah, just people, Preds fans are excited because they finally have seen a different direction. It's not the total rebuild situation, but that also means that this team is not just a team of young guys you hope grow into a good team. It's a team that can still win some hockey games. So this is a big one early. You're talking about a team that's going to be trying to win, trying to make the playoffs. Popular theme in this town. And I'd say this is a big one given that early schedule.
I think it is too. And I'm interested tonight. Can the power play get going a little bit? The power play, other than the first one yesterday, which was not good, I thought they started to generate some momentum. They got some good looks.
Yep.
Got to bear down and finish on some of those. But I thought, the power play in general with Andrew Burnett is going to be interesting to watch all season long. That's been his bread and butter in Florida. That was certainly his bread and butter last year in New Jersey, working with that group. And I'm not saying that the Predators' power play as currently constructed has the same personnel as those 2 units had, but I do expect the power play as the season goes on to get significantly better than it was last year. And we'll see if they can find a couple opportunities to capitalize on that tonight.
Well, it's a huge difference. I mean, it was a big part of why they were surprisingly successful 2 years ago, and it was a big part of last year's failures.
Yep.
So, no doubt about it. Can I read this from Will?
Sure.
Okay. Will said he tuned in yesterday. It was the middle of the Franklin rant. Then he says, I seriously thought it was Joe getting on a color based on the tone and vitriol. I figured that he would be playing it to listeners that's the right way to address a stupid comment or question. I figured he would laud that approach. It's his own approach with callers and texters. What do you think about that? Is that true?
I think Will is still a little upset with you. Y'all have had some conversations that have been a little heated over the last couple of weeks, so maybe he's just still upset at you. Who knows?
It's only true when there's stupid calls and texts, Will, like yours right there. Have a good day.
That's going to do it for us today here on Robby and Rexrode. We'll be back 6 a.m. tomorrow. We'll have you covered all day long here from Bridgestone Arena. Jason Big Joe coming up next. You're listening to 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
All the big plays.
Rebound, try out in front, and Saros covers it up.
All the big stories.